Welcome, everybody, to the CrossFire podcast. It's a holiday weekend for some, but let me tell you something. It's going to be a great show. Great! It doesn't matter. We've got a lot of people in the audience. There's still people gaming. Regardless of family coming in, what's happening, we are going to have a hell of a time. And let me say something. I'm very, very grateful for everybody I have on this panel right now. Let me do this. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got the one, the only, a crap gamer. Crap, how the hell are you? And how's your week been?
It's been pretty good. You know, it's been enlightening to say the least. Been having a good time, man. Finished up The Last of Us. Been playing some more Spider-Man DLC. You know, you can catch me on that PS4 crap gamer on that PSN. I also am now officially appearing online. So a lot of people were like, hey, I was looking for you. I was like, oh, well, I forgot that I was appearing offline. So there you go. Yeah, let's you got a lot of great topics, Mooch. Each one of them more thrilling than the last. So I'm very excited to check it out, man. Let's get this started. Let's go.
I completely agree with you. Not just that, but you being online on PlayStation is like the eighth wonder of the world. I got news for you.
Yes.
When I found that you were online, excited, very excited.
It is, man. It's an exciting time.
It really is. All right, listen, we got great topics. You know this. I've got the one, the only. He's down in Florida. I'm sure he's not sinking because it's a holiday weekend. Clowns, how the hell are you doing this weekend?
Hey, what's up? Just floating on eggshells, Mooch. Hanging in there.
That's great, buddy. It's awesome. So, and listen, I got news for everybody. You wanted more clowns? You're getting more clowns tonight. So get ready for it. Clowns, I hope you so.
Who asked for that?
Huh? Oh, the world. Nonetheless. Then I've got Xbot448, who was justifying his Italian hood before the show started. Xbot, how the hell are you doing tonight?
What is going on, everybody? What is up, chat? It is the start of the weekend, and the only way the true gamers start the weekend is right here with Crossfire. What is up, everybody?
Awesome to have you here, Xbot. And then I've got two special guests. Very, very, very pleased to have them with us. They're very opinionated. I'll start with the one that I gamed with for about 2 months straight with anything that's any kind of army simulator. Pred, welcome back to the show, buddy. How you doing tonight?
Hey, man. Happy to be on. Thanks for having me on again another weekend. It's been a rough week, man. I feel like I've done like 4 podcasts this week already, and I still may make the next tomorrow. And this news to
don't tease me like that, brother.
Still might make it tomorrow. So I'm running the gauntlet this week. But feels good. Happy to be here, and I'll make sure I talk shit to Dark while we go through the podcast because he's a piece of shit.
Awesome.
Oh, come on. He's great. Great. Well, that was a kind of a non-formal introduction. Let me welcome the one that's the indecisive but very decisive. Goldblum, welcome back to the show, buddy. How are you tonight?
I'm good. All I got to say is that I play PS4 exclusives, so Bot doesn't have to.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm happy to be here.
You're like a good Samaritan. That being said, right,
I gotta say that is a charity, especially with a game like Spider-Man. I mean, that is a
don't you talk shit.
I can't believe you
about
put yourself
Spider-Man,
through that
you
just
bastard.
for me, man. But okay, I'm thank you, Dark.
Well, you haven't played it all the way through. You talking about like maybe an hour of play there, buddy. So you know.
No. We got to go about 3-4 times that. You know,
now let's save that family squabbling for next. That can't happen tonight. Teaser for tomorrow night. Listen, let me do this first and foremost. Everybody in the chat, thanks for being here today on this holiday weekend. I appreciate it. Guys, like it, retweet it out, hit the subscribe button if you will. That being said, let me say hi to what's up to Salt, what's up to Lethal, a couple of great people out here in the chat. Shout out to Yobi Dren, great guy.
Yobi!
So many good people here. Unknown YouTuber.
Great folks.
Be quiet, Mooch. My parents are sleeping. I can't. All right, listen, wake them up. The show's great. All right, listen, crap, there's a lot of stuff that kind of broke in the last couple of hours. And I'll be honest with you, one of these things didn't break recently. It kind of was being talked about midweek. And I said, it's something I got to bring up because I talk about it all the time. And I think everybody in this panel, I know there's one that might say they don't like it, but I like GameStop, guys. I really do. Like GameStop is a place, like, you know what I mean, dude? It's an awesome place. It's one of the only places that gamers can still kind of get together, whether it be a midnight release or even if it's not. Even if it's the day a game comes out, you go in and you get to enjoy being around the surrounding of other gamers and discuss the games that you all love together while you're there picking up that game in the first place, or a console launch, which is always a good time. But, you know, crap, there's a new policy. And this policy is something I think might work. I really think this might work out. What they're doing, and I think they're trying it first, the guinea pig here is going to be Days Gone. What they're doing is they're saying if you go in and buy Days Gone, of course, physical disc, you have 48 hours, no questions asked. If you don't like it, Okay, if you don't like the game, whatever, no matter. There's no questions asked. You bring it back. You don't get your cash back. Okay, so in New York with the 8% tax, you're looking at about $64 out of pocket to buy it. You'll get $60 back. You don't get the tax back. That's a New York State thing or your local area state thing. That's not coming back to you. But you get $60 in in-store credit. Well, listen, before you used to get an in-store middle finger. So, I mean, this is a lot better, right? Now, I mean, this is a big
Sometimes I didn't even get that.
Right. So, I mean, even Salty says, finish it in 2 days. There's people doing that. So, their money's on the used market anyways. So that's a good point. Crap, what do you think about this? Is this something that you think can maybe, listen, it's inevitable. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. That was a blessing. Blessing. Anyways, but but the thing about it, Crap, is you think that this will keep the doors open longer?
No. I mean, when you have a company like Microsoft basically shafting you and putting out a console with no ability to get used games in there, the writing's on the wall. I do think that, so I don't think it's going to really help them much, to be honest with you. I think it's clearly they're going a certain way. They're going down the tubes, which is a shame.
It is.
Because there's something, there was always something fun about going to a GameStop at midnight for a launch or to pick up a console. I went for the Xbox One, right. And fantastic time. And, I used to go for the Halos and I mean, so it was really, it's really kind of sad. I've never traded in anything much at GameStop. I think when I got my original PS4, might have been one of the only times that I traded in anything towards something. Other than that, I don't really trade. I don't trade in games. I keep all my consoles for the most part. I got, so I never felt ripped off by them. I always took advantage of their deals. They do run sales a lot. And, it's sad to really see people kind of cheer that on,
Well, that's the thing. And I mean, in Xbox, I really want to hear your take on it because you have a history at GameStop. Okay.
Oh, yes, I do.
But I will say this much. I'm only going to say this. You got to try it. And I have not bought Days Gone yet. I'm going to buy it day one. And I said I was going to continue to buy digital, but I might go buy this one physical. I don't know if I don't see myself returning this game. So the new policy doesn't really hold water. Xbox, what's your take on this new policy? Does it help them?
It is too little too late. All right. If they had done this a couple years back, they might have a leg to stand on moving forward. But as you can see, when it comes to how many people have adopted digital games, you're looking at over like 70% of the market buying basically digital games. All right. When it comes down to it, there's nothing that they can pull really in terms of incentives and stuff like that that's going to grab like 30% of the market and bring it back over to physical. And I gotta say, when it comes down to it, with digital purchases, I want to see what these companies are going to do with their stores moving into the next generation, because I want the developers to get the money that they have deserved. All right, the entire last generation, I think everybody has kind of taken advantage of GameStop, whether you're PS3, Xbox 360, or whatnot, and GameStop made a buttload of money off that. You know who didn't, though? The people who actually made the games. All right, we saw so many studios closing because they just couldn't make ends meet, and now, I mean, it's called karma, man. I mean, if you look at it, it's called karma.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Pred, what about you? Does that make a change for you at all?
No. I mean, like, I don't really fuck with GameStop, to be honest with you. I haven't been there. There's my stepson is here. I don't shop there. I recently looked to see if I can get a copy of Ninja Game from there. It was like $9 versus the $30 it is online digitally. But I just don't deal with GameStop. And we've talked about this on Next before about how GameStop has just consistently been sinking since this generation started. When did this start? 2013, I think this generation started, and they were doing the whole talk about digital. And I think their shares were like at $48 or something like that. It's like at $8 right now. Like that lets you know like where they're going. They're slowly becoming Blockbuster.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I myself personally think that this may give them some kind of a reach. Clowns, what about you? You got something on this?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to help in the long run. I think the writing's on the wall. They kind of did themselves in by shunning developers in the past. It's kind of like karma, like Xbox said. I just wish they would go back to the old EB Games days of the 7-day policy.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. I think that this is something
Shut
that
that
was
dog
much.
up.
Shut the dog up.
It's not mine this time.
Well, crap. What does GameStop have to do to kind of survive? To be honest with you, I mean, you know,
I don't know. I mean, like Sony won't allow them to even sell digital codes anymore for their games. So like you have people like you buy the balls. You know, Microsoft releases this SAT edition. Xbox is not even available at GameStop, and rightly so. I wouldn't sell it.
right?
You know, if I'm a retail store, I don't see why Walmart would sell it. To be honest with you,
Walmart don't
but
care.
yeah,
They'll sell anything, dude.
I guess so, man. But I'm just saying I wouldn't, because there's no incentive to sell it because they don't make anything off those. So it does, and you can't buy discs for it. So you know, to me, it's kind of pointless. But yeah, they got GameStop by the balls. Sony's got GameStop by the balls. You know, it's just less options for us consumers, and that's the way the big wigs want it, man. They want us to have to pay outrageous digital prices for everything, never own our content, and that's the way we're headed to it. Not with a disappointment, but people clapping along the way and cheering. So bravo, guys, bravo.
Yeah, no, I mean, myself personally, I just felt like this was a good opportunity for them to kind of spread their wings and do something different, you know? So when I saw that, and there was a couple people that ran with the story, the media ran with it, and they said, well, maybe they got a chance, or they said at least it prolongs it for them. But I mean, I don't know, myself personally, I just hate to see something like that happen, because the minute like something like those kind of stores are not around anymore, the minute that happens, I got news for you. You lose a little piece of that gaming history. You lose a little bit of that gaming panache that we all grew up with, you know? So I to me personally, when I saw that, I almost wanted to go and buy the physical copy, because I mean, if you're ever on the fence, guys, I mean, does this change anybody in the chat's opinion on it? I think that you should, if you're on the fence, like myself personally, right? I'll segue into something else. Mortal Kombat 11. That's not my bag. It's really not. I think the game looks great, but I got to be honest with you, it's not my bag. So if I'm on the fence, maybe I could go grab Mortal Kombat 11, right? All of a sudden I say, wow, that doesn't work for me. And then you can go get, let's say, Days Gone or whatever other game comes out in that time frame. You know, you don't lose I don't know if it's a year you get to keep the $60 or what it is. But what do you think, Xbot?
Well, the thing here is, all right, they're keeping everything in-house as well. Like, if you go in there within 48 hours, you're not getting your money back. They're keeping you at the store. So with a policy like this, yeah, it looks good at the surface, but I don't feel like it has anything that's going to draw the masses over to it, because at the end of the day, they're like, you know what? Well, we're keeping that money here. It's in-store credit. So you can use it in here for whatever you want in here, but we're not going to give you your money back. And when it comes to that, I don't think that this is going to do anything for them.
Yeah.
Except kind of put a little more slight pressure on the wound, let them cough up a little bit, a couple last words before they close their eyes and they see that big glaring light tunnel, man.
When I saw this, I thought to myself, this is a big pile of shit.
Well, absolutely. It certainly is, to be honest with you, Goldblum. Oh, man. I don't know. I hope who's in on Mortal Kombat 11? And then I'll get into my deal.
I am
I want you
totally into it.
Well, why? Tell people why, because I mean, everyone's curious. I don't get it.
Because man, it looks better than X, and it's on this generation of consoles, okay? And every time I see a trailer for it, I get excited, because I'm like, oh man, they're going back to some of the like the older characters like Liu Kang and you know, Johnny Cage looks different. Like everybody looks kind of different, and then they kind of bring in their older looks to them too as well. And I'm just like, dude, I'm excited for that, because like I love the old school type of Mortal Kombat.
Now let me give the real reason here.
No,
right?
no, you
Take your
can't stop it.
Mortal Kombat character, and you can customize them with your moves. Put together your combos for the first time ever. Kind of customize what they look like as well,
right,
and really make like a Scorpion your Scorpion that you feel comfortable with. Weeding out any of the special moves that you didn't really use and putting in other moves that you do use, stuff like that. And for Mortal Kombat fans, I think that's something that we wanted, and we didn't even realize we wanted it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't realize that would ever be possible.
But also my biggest reason is because I played all the other ones and I love the stories in the other ones. So I want to play this one because I want to, kind of correlate with those stories because I know it kind of leaves off of what 10 did. So I want to see where that's going. And I played all the Injustice as well. So I just love what NetherRealm is doing over there with their fighting games.
Yeah, I mean, you guys don't feel like this is just Mortal Kombat again?
Well, dude,
No,
if they come
man,
out
not
with
at all.
another Killer Instinct, won't that be another Killer Instinct? And anytime they
Well, it's
come
the
out
same thing
with a
you say
Smash
with
Brothers,
every.
isn't it another
Yeah.
Smash Brothers? At the end of the day, if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, if they put enough into the game that really sparks your interest, creative kind of like new ways to get into the game, which I feel they have with customizing your own characters to such an extent that I'm down, man. To the point where I am so proud of O Snaps. She actually pre-ordered the $100 edition, so we'll be getting the DLC characters a week before they go out to everybody else. And she made that decision. I was like, yo, great, bravo.
I think that's a little steep though for just a week though. Like I'll wait a week and get those characters later. Like it's not a big deal. I think the $60 version is fine. Like that $100 is like I think that's a little steep for just a week waiting for characters.
Interesting. I don't know myself personally. I think that this is I think this is a game that can kind of be maybe passed up, but I think a lot of people are gonna go, no, you can't do that, Mooch. This game's gonna be great. But I don't understand why. What is going to put people in the spot here? Crap, are you getting Mortal Kombat 11?
No.
Why not?
I'm not. I don't know. I just I have the last one and I barely play. I mean, I played it a little bit. I thought the campaign was cool, but I'm not really an online like fighter fan. So to me, mostly that's an online fighting game. Same thing with like the Injustice games. I think they're cool. But once you play one of them, you played them all, I mean, come on.
Right. I don't know.
Making things more gory isn't, like, impressing to me. It's not.
For people who do like Mortal Kombat, they took the entire kind of like the system that they had with the 1-bar system on Mortal Kombat X, and they evolved that even more. So now you're not...
Well, I bought the last two. I bought even the one on the 360. I have the collector's edition where it has the bookends or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that is cool, but it's just like, I don't know, I'm just not really feeling that brand anymore, like the Mortal Kombat stuff. I think it looks good, but I don't know if that's something for me, to be honest with you.
I got you, brother. And I mean, everybody, is entitled to an opinion. You're going to love a game that I'm not going to like. You're going to love an interactive movie and I'm not going to like it. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to... That
interactive movie.
Yeah.
Hey, don't be talking shit about Detroit, man. Come on now.
Who said I was saying Detroit, man?
That's a great game, man. That's a great game.
Dude, I would love to actually watch it on YouTube, and I think it'll be a really good cinematic experience, man.
It is a great cinematic experience, but you really get the most out of it and emotionality by playing through it and feeling that connection to the characters.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing like multiple things here at once. I apologize, but I myself personally, I don't know. I think that, and shout out to Boombastic who couldn't make it tonight. So Boombastic has family, but Boom's gonna be doing an unveiling and a 360-degree turnaround special, fantastic show. I can't wait to see it. To be honest with you, because I'm not gonna get it. So I'm not gonna be able to have the ability to do that.
I wonder if Boom's gonna jump in the air, every's gonna freeze, and then the camera's just gonna spin around him real quick.
Well, that might happen.
So,
that might happen.
Yeah.
But at the same time, let me say this much, guys. So the news came out. We'll go into this, and I'll let Crap kind of take it for a second because I'm kind of doing 2 or 3 things here at once. Next Xbox, not leaks by no means. But there was talks now that developers have kind of murmured under their breath online saying, well, I'm glad we saw the PS5 specs, but don't worry about it. The Xbox is going to be more, a much more potent machine here. So what do you guys think about that? Crap, I'll start with you. I mean, we've talked about a series of different things. There's power, there's price, there's games. There's all kinds of different things here. It looks like Microsoft does not want to release this crown. What's your take on it?
My take is Microsoft has to hold on to every little thing they got. So if you went into next gen with you know, with the moniker of the least amount of games and the least quality games,
Right.
and also a weaker console, you're done. I mean, they're done anyway as far as the next gen like console war itself. I don't think. I mean, their Xbox is going to be fine in terms of they're going to make money, and you know everybody can tout that, yay revenue. But in terms of consoles sold and you know and things like that, they are beyond finished. You know, like it's more than we're seeing. I showed you an article today, Mooch, that says both Microsoft and Nintendo have ceded to Sony, given them it's only the console market is the Sony market now, right? So for me personally, it's really hard to say. Like, it's cool. People that the super hardcore are going to get it's going to be more expensive. If the PS5 is 500, then the Anaconda is going to be 600. So that's going to probably hamper some things right there as well. Plus, you don't even need that to play their games, man. You're going to be able to play their games on the old hardware as well. So you can play it on a wristwatch probably if Phil has his way, you know. So honestly, I think it's cool. And for those that are like holding on to that one sliver of great thing that's going to come out of the Anaconda, I think that's awesome. But at the end of the day, content is king. And if you don't have the content to back it up, then I don't know what else to say. Like, no, I don't feel like that's going to win them anything by having a more powerful console when it's going to be A, more expensive, and B, when you're going to have something new to show people, and C, Sony looks like they have a lot of stuff that is going to be pushed back to coincide with the release of the PS5.
But that's the key word, push back, man. Like,
it doesn't matter how you do it, man. Wait till it's done, man. Wait till it's done. Get it out there. Get some great games out there.
By saying push back,
you're
not, you know, putting it out when it's done. They're basically, it's a strategy. It's a business strategy.
You can't release
and they're pushing them back.
You can't release new hardware without software to go with it.
All right,
that's foolish. I mean Sony's done that in the past.
Sony did that at the beginning of this generation.
They did, but luckily Microsoft screwed themselves, and so Sony was able to go out there and kind of do that little schmarmy. This is how you use games. You know what I mean? Like that they can't count on Microsoft doing that
marketing
again.
Then yeah, I remember that.
You can't really count on Microsoft doing that again, although I wouldn't put it past Microsoft to do something. Like, they don't seem to learn, like, even with this whole sad edition thing, right? Like, do they not have did not remember the Xbone and now like sad edition?
Yeah, well, their marketing, they need to take a look in the mirror and decide what they want to do in terms of their marketing team. But with you talking about crap, with you talking about like consoles sold and stuff like that, I think we're moving into this next series of hardware or whatever. That's not really a demographic that like is like make or break the video game companies in the industry anymore. You look at all of them that are working hard on streaming services that go to multiple devices, including Sony. Of course, Microsoft they kind of invested in this earlier, which is why you're hearing about it more on Microsoft's side, because they have the infrastructure to get it up and running the quickest out of the three. But I don't feel like that old kind of like console war, like there's so many consoles out, in comparison. I don't think that actually relegates to what it used to mean previous generations, man.
Yeah, it's non-existent now. Like those the new consoles that they're coming out with, it's going to be a completely different thing. A lot of people from this generation, they're going to go to the next PS5 because of the fact that they are going to have probably backwards compatibility. I mean, Mark Cerny has said that. I don't necessarily believe everything he says, but I think they will probably have some iteration of backwards compatibility with their console. But then, with the Xbox, them coming out and them kind of, saying this, like, hey, we're going to have a bigger, beefier kind of console. It almost kind of tells me that, they're going to be a little bit more expensive, but not like, breaking the bank for a lot of people. But I don't think they're going to win a lot of those consumers back because of the fact that a lot of people who went to the PS4 are going to go to the PS5 because they're going to be able to play all their old games on that console.
Well, I mean, like it's going to be interesting, and I saw kind of like what everybody was talking about, the article with Cerny and all that good stuff. But it was funny how people kind of ran back towards power once Cerny said a couple things here and there. So at the end of the day, power must mean something if people,
That's
if
just people
you're
on Twitter, though, dude. That's not the whole community of gamers.
Not only that, but
that's just a small community of people.
I want to point out also that what maybe wasn't seen as a lot of it is just people trolling, right? When they put an 8K and stuff in there, they know
Yeah.
everybody knows that everybody knows that PS5 isn't going to be 8K. What Mark Cerny's talking about is the ability to upscale to 8K. Right, that's not going to play 8K
as well,
yeah,
right?
I mean, Xbox, the Anaconda, none of these are going to do 8K. Why in the hell would they? It would not make sense. You wouldn't, you know what I mean? So people got to understand that it's just a little bit of slight trolling, people having fun. The reason why people are having fun with it, because right now the X has the advantage, and a lot of the specs that they did share for the PS5 were impressive and probably scared a few Xbox fans because they thought they were going to for sure have the advantage. And then when they come out and they start talking about this stuff, they go, oh, crap, we won't even have an advantage in hardware, which, they probably will with one of their consoles. If that's what you hang your hat on, I think that's fine. But I do think that, the more expensive situation and the, what are they going to actually show? I think that's going to be the more important thing for Microsoft. Like, they have to show up this E3 and they have to show people what the future is and why they should get excited about Xbox again. And, before Phil Spencer gets up there and starts talking about Lockhart and Anacondas and, whatever else hardware they're going to try to sell you, they should sell you on some future hardware or some future software and get people excited about that. You know what I mean? Because I feel like they haven't really done that.
I think they're going to do that. I think like what they've been doing the last couple of years has kind of been gearing up towards this E3 and moving forward. Now you can agree with it or you can disagree with it. You can say it was a great move or you can say it was a shitty move. Either way, I feel like that's what they decided to do. That, people who are on Xbox, they're giving them enhancements to games and stuff like that. If you have an X, all that good stuff. And
that's cool stuff. I mean, but if you look at it, right, what the patents have filed for Sony by Mark Cerny himself, it looks like they're going to do upscaling of older games too. So I know that they said for sure it's going to play PS4 games, but something inside me tells me they're going to have older backwards compatibility too. And not only that, but they're going to be able to get to the source code. Look at some of these patents that Mark Cerny has filed recently. Pretty incredible stuff where it's going to emulate right off the hardware and emulate the software up to 4K. So they're going to be doing what Microsoft is doing.
Yeah,
but Microsoft is doing it at a different level where they need to code it themselves, and then like the box itself. It sounds like for the PS5 is going to do all that for you on your games. So you're not really going to have to worry about as much of the problems that Microsoft has, where they release a few at a time, which I think will be cool. So I do think that both consoles are going to be negligible in terms of 4K 60. How do you? Yeah, one's more powerful, but what exactly you're going to be getting? Because I feel like Sony is going to absolutely run away with this thing.
But
right?
that's I mean, like Xbox, why would they acquire all?
Can anybody hear him?
If they're not going to come out with games,
What did he say?
Yeah, but you're back.
Did it fade out? I said that. Why would Microsoft or Xbox acquire these studios and not, put out these games and stuff? Like, I mean, I get your logic, crap with the whole, PlayStation, because I mean, yes, PlayStation's gonna have some fire ass games. I'm telling you right now, next generation is gonna be crazy ass shit. But I still want to see what Microsoft's going to come out with and see what, especially, what these studios that they acquired are going to be doing.
Now, which studio are you most excited for, Goldblum? Like, which one do you think? I mean, are you really an In Exile fan? Are you a Compulsion Game fan?
I'm more of a Ninja Theory fan.
Okay,
I really liked Heavenly Sword and I really liked Hellblade and stuff. So
their game leaks. We're gonna see that at E3 this year. That 4-player co-op game. Now, whether or not that's AAA or not, I think that's going to be debatable.
Which is highly debatable because I'm not into 4-player co-op as much as I am.
So I mean, it seems like one of those Lara Croft Tomb Raider, not the main Tomb Raider games, but remember like the little mini ones where you're 4 players on the same screen and that's what it sounds like to me.
If it's like that, then I'm not down for that.
Well, here's the thing. You can look at the old canceled game called Razor and they have some of that stuff on a different, like you can look it up, Ninja Theory Razor. They canceled this game, and it sort of looks like a mix between Anthem and Destiny, right? They canceled it. So I think what happened was when Microsoft bought them out, Phil was like, what do you guys got in the dumpster? And they're like, hold on, we got this game Razor, and Phil's like, better than what we got. So I mean, I think that's basically that's basically what happened. So basically, what Xbox fans are getting is old games that were canceled, and Phil went dumpster diving. Huckster Phil was like, "I need something."
That Huckster Phil thing might stick forever. That's really
Huckster Phil.
Huckster Phil's like, don't know where he came up with that one. Crap.
He's like, crap gamers got me by the balls. He's like, he's right. I can't. How am I going to introduce 2 new Xboxes and not have one new IP to show? So he's like, what do you guys got, man? You guys go, okay, well, let's dumpster dive and find out what you got.
Yeah.
Because check this out, Goldblum. I agree with you. We have a lot of IP factory at Microsoft. 343 does Halo. Coalition does Gears. Turn 10 does Forza. Playground is going to be doing Forza and Fable. You have Compulsion, and they're still doing whatever the hell that AA crap is that they're in We Happy Few. In Exile. Nothing special going on there. The Initiative, that could be a dark horse. Ninja Theory could be a dark horse. When you look at Obsidian, now this is what I found to be very interesting. 95% of their workers working on Outer Worlds. The head of Obsidian was recently interviewed, and they asked him, now, if Outer Worlds 2 is a thing, is that exclusive to Xbox? And he definitively said no. It would be a multi-platform. So
that is if. That's if. Man.
Oh, well, I mean, they have deals signed. This game, if it does well, they're going to do a sequel, and that means they won't be have as much of a workforce working on games for Xbox. So when will we possibly see anything from? That's always been my thing. Like, it sounds good on paper when you see all these new studios, but we know what they're working on already, and most of them are working on multiplats for the PS4 and Xbox.
And that's PC. The biggest thing. Like, your point is valid, because like, it's not just like we've been sold on a lot of these consoles this generation, but we haven't had games to back it up. And I think going into next generation, that's something we had to have. And now you're saying you bought all these, not you, but Huckster Phil is saying he's bought all these studios, and all the games that are coming out are going to be multi-plat from these studios. For the
and he doesn't care, though. That's the problem. Like,
he doesn't care.
He does not care.
There were games that they were working on before they were acquired. They're basically gold. You know what I'm saying? If not very close to it. Who says that they didn't split a team off, start the whole pre-planning and getting?
They did do that.
Another game.
Like, here's the thing.
The question is, when are we going to see those games? Not right. We know they're making games for Xbox.
Dude, I am excited to see what Ninja Theory is bringing to the table. I am excited to see 343 with Halo Infinite. I am excited to see what is going on with Fable. There is stuff to get excited about.
There is, but it's stuff that we've all had for multiple generations now.
Okay. But
I think, and it's funny because when you talk about the games, what it comes down to is crap. And that's an argument. It's tough to win because look at Xbox. I mean, Xbox he's Halo. He's Halo with sneakers.
Hey, I buy Xbox for those things, but when you're seeing,
right,
when you see the competition, not just Sony, but Nintendo too, come out with their staples, but so much in addition to the staples. And then you look at the stuff that Microsoft has come out with in addition to the staples and the quality. It's like, they won a scratch off game for like $500, and we're like, State of Decay 2. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
I hear you.
It's terrible.
I hear you. Shout out to LMNOPO in the super chat. He says, how could anyone who like playing games not be excited for any, in quotes, new games to come to their console of choice? Just nuts.
I don't care about Fallout and Space, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, regardless, this is the thing, right? Crap, we say this all the time. It's you can't really think about just me, you, the panel, or even the chat.
I'm only speaking for myself,
right, bro? Well, that's fine, but there's a broad look at things, right? So my main concern, I wouldn't use the word concern, but the way that the argument kind of goes here is you say, okay, I look at Obsidian and I say, there's one talented group of people, right? Now, whether that game's for you or not, crap, that's irrelevant for this conversation. I get your point. But what I'm saying is this, that team is making a game that's a multi-plat game, and they've said that they're going to come out. You just said this a second ago. They're going to come out and they're going to make the second one probably multi-plat as well, because I really don't see Phil and company with everything they're doing where games are for gamers and gamers are for games. I don't see them pulling that and making that an exclusive. It's just not going to happen. Yeah. So for the foreseeable future, what is it? Pillars of Eternity and this game here, Outer Worlds, that company, as far as I'm concerned, even though it's an acquisition, you're not really seeing Microsoft, like, they're reaping the value of it because they're collecting the almighty dollar. but they're not reaping any kind of values for their Xbox base, if you will.
They don't care.
Well, no, they don't. They don't. And they're going. Listen, crap. There was an article that came out just before the show went live today about how Sony is staying traditional and going that route, and Nintendo and Microsoft are going in a different route.
Because Sony was so dominating.
Right.
They
well,
didn't
that's what
really
the article says.
Yeah. They didn't have a choice. I'm just saying that's what the article says. The
article said basically that Nintendo and Microsoft were conceding the traditional race and taking the gaming platform to different heights because they both couldn't compete. Basically, we're paraphrasing. This wasn't our article. I mean, Mooch and Crap didn't write it. I'm just saying, like, it was. They said that Sony has the traditional on lockdown, and that may be the case.
Yeah,
that may be the case. I think a lot of people. There's a lot of people. Shout out to Enrique Brapp. He tweeted out right away. He goes, interesting read. It is an interesting read. Whether you agree with it or not, you still would. It does make you ponder and think a bit as a gamer. I mean, what do you think about something like that? Because I know you're very pro Xbox, and that's great. But I mean, like, what do you think about this next generation where Sony's staying traditional, and you have Nintendo trying to take the portable route and dominate, and Microsoft's trying to do portable in another essence and saying play it anywhere you want? What's your take on it?
Yeah, well, see, Sony, because of their quote-unquote success this generation, they are not going to show their cards of what they're working on behind closed doors. They were like, yeah, no, we're traditional and everything like that. Right. And a lot of it is because they don't have everything put in place to put PlayStation Now absolutely everywhere. I mean, let's be real here. They had issues with putting it on TVs and stuff like that as well. Latency issues. I know that Xbox and Microsoft, they're touting that, when it comes to latency, they've really worked on that when it comes to streaming and stuff. So, of course, Sony is going to say, hey, guys, we're traditional. Just like the beginning of the generation, they're like, hey, we're for the gamers. And they were delaying every single game down the line. I mean, guys, you got to look at it for what it is. Without the Xbox sunglasses or without the PlayStation sunglasses, they're all businesses.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the stream. Like, I don't give a shit if Sony goes streaming.
You don't. But you can't
I'm just
say
saying.
Nobody.
I'm not saying. But listen, though, it doesn't matter. Like, I hope they do. Why? Because that's going to prove. That's going to prove my point further that people aren't going to bother with Microsoft streaming, even if it's better, because they've got shit games on it. I would think people would much rather play PlayStation exclusives on the go or streaming than Microsoft would. Nobody wants to play Halo Wars 2 on the go.
Guys, instead of going down that rabbit hole again, I think we've done that for like 3 weeks straight. My point is this: let's talk about the actual evidence, right? Take this as no, really, crap. Let's take it like as evidence. Now, let's look at the games, right? So I think the one thing you got to look at is you have to say what's in the immediate future. Okay, we can embellish slightly. So Gears 5, Halo Infinite, right? And then we've talked about
another Forza.
There'll be a Forza naturally. So we know those are there, right? But then you've also got Ninja Theory's game, and then we're probably going to see something from Playground Games.
Yeah, the Fable game, which great. I mean, I'm looking forward to that.
Ori 2, or is that game too small?
Double A. I'm saying let's count some triple A's up here.
Right, and I mean, in the near future, when I say near future, I'm really going out to 2020, 2021.
One of the best games this generation was Ori, all right? And because it's a quote-unquote double-A game, it's just not going to get the shine.
Here's the well, you know what? I guess that's kind of what it comes down to, Xbox. But I'm trying to be fair here, right? And I loved Ori. I loved it. But we can't – it's just not fair to say that Ori – you can't put Ori in the Halo universe. And you can't put Halo – right, you can't put Halo in The Last of Us. It's not – I'm using Halo – I'm using Ori against both sides. I'm not trying to say this is not – I'm really trying to look at what's going on here. You've got consumers – okay, at a crossroads. And I'm not saying that you could see a clear path that Xbox is trying to take, and there's a clear path that Sony's trying to take. Nintendo's still being that kind of third company. By no means do I mean number 3. I don't mean number 3. Well, what's not so clear to you, Xbox?
It's not so clear because at the end of the day, like I said, it is great marketing for Sony. Yeah, we're traditional, just like the beginning of this generation. Yeah, we're for the gamers.
Xbox, you've heard me. You've heard me now. You've heard me now say multiple times. And shout out to Salt who's in the chat. Right? I say we need more advertising. We need more of this and that. Let me tell you something. The advertisement and that push only gets you so far. That gets the initial group to go buy it.
Hey, I want to point out
something. If they come out and say
something.
it's not good, then it's not good.
In the
Go
chat, Roshan Eppinger says Microsoft wants games everywhere, but it doesn't feel like fan service. Sony feels like they're doing things for their fans. And I mentioned this the other day, right? They were very clear, very concise. Mark Cerny was with his interview. There was no confusion. There was no, well, we need a PS5 Mark II, a Mark V, a Mark 8, a streaming Mark, a Mark. You know what I mean? Like you're going to go into a store and buy a PS5. I mean, that's it. They were very clear. We're going to have a disk drive, right? There's no confusing there. Microsoft is going to come out E3 and they're going to confuse the hell out of everyone.
Right.
And they won't even let you know if there's a disc. Dude, when have they not confused people? They release a SAT edition with no disc drive for more money than the one with the disc drive. That's confusing as hell.
They already came out and stated, Mikey Barra came out and stated the same thing. No matter what happens when the all digital releases, it'll always be $50 cheaper than
but
the
it's
one
only
with
in
the
3
disc drive.
stores. So what?
All right,
I'm saying?
But that's
Okay.
the thing.
I can
with
get an
that.
Xbox One S for $199 brand new right now. So you're telling me that the SAT edition, then why not just release
It'll
it
be
for
150. It'll be
So-
150.
So why
It-
not
it-
just say it's 150 or 199?
Because retail wise, the Xbox One S is $299. That's retail. That is the retail.
It hasn't
price
been that
for
the
it.
entire year.
Right, exactly. But when the SAT edition comes out, it's gonna be whatever
Sale
the store
$50
decides
less.
they want to sell it for. If it's $199 at Target or whatever, for the S, then it's gonna be $159.99 for the SAT edition. That's how it's gonna work. It's just retail wise, that's where
Here's
they're
the
putting
thing, though.
the
You can
marker at.
pre-order it right now. It's $250. You see what I'm saying? When you pre-order at any of these stores, despite the fact that even at the Microsoft store, the S is $250 right now. They're both $250.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I
a
think-
huge. It's a
What do you
huge.
think about
let
that?
me
It's a
speak
huge
about
MacGuffin.
let me speak about the Sade edition, okay?
There you
I
go.
did
Mitch,
that-
Come on, man.
The
Come
Predator's
on,
here.
dude.
He put a bunch of Sade pictures up.
Come on, man.
Gotta give credit where credit's due, right,
Sade.
Crap? Crap, come on. Listen, I want to say something about this
I think
edition,
it's
though.
Sade.
It's another.
Sade, you're
It
right.
is Sade, yes. It is a missed opportunity. I was trying to give Crap a little play too there, but he didn't care for it. But listen, I got to say this much. I really think that it's a missed opportunity because if let's just say they took this discless Xbox and they made it the way that maybe Xbox gamers wanted, they could have changed the design on it, make it a little bit smaller, a little bit sleeker, rebrand it and kind of sell it. All of a sudden, people that just want to have a new console this time of generation for cheaper, they would do that, right? But they made it, it's just the S. And they even made a joke on their own commercial where they put a piece of tape over the drive.
Mhm.
Like that's what they
God.
did.
Don't even get
That
me
commer- by
started
the way,
on that
that-
commercial.
And you know, guys, this is not,
Brand
I know
new.
it sounds like piling on. It's not piling on. I've been saying this for about 2 years. Who's in charge of that marketing? Get a hold of
Yeah.
Mooch. I'm available on Sundays only.
I like the
Hey,
commercial.
Mooch,
I don't
if you get
necessarily-
hired, call me because I'll help you.
You know what? I'll take that, Goldblum. Okay? Absolutely. I know Goldblum's in the business over there in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Rubbing elbows with all the big wigs. That's fine. But I mean, Crap, do you see what I'm saying? Isn't that a missed opportunity? Listen, they could have resculpted the thing and made it look pretty cool.
Well, you know what? It shows that nobody at Microsoft is a fan of gaming history because, and I brought this up right away, and then oddly enough, 2 days
Sounds like
later,
a
I see
Jeopardy
an
subject.
article. Well, no,
Yeah.
I see an article about this is Microsoft's PSP Go. If you didn't know what the PSP Go was, the PSP Go came out in 2012. It was a PSP. It was $250, which was at the same price as the PS3 at that time. It was all digital, and it flopped completely, right? Because who's going to buy a PSP at that price point when the next one was already rumored to be coming out, be announced soon, and I think it was a year or two later, the Vita, and also it was just as expensive as a home console.
But I think we're in a different time now, though. You know, there's a lot
We
more
are,
people
but it's
going
still-
into digital.
But who that wants an S doesn't already have one?
Right, that is true. I agree with you on the whole fact that I think the SAT
Why
edition
it shouldn't have been the S. They're dipping their toes into obviously what they want in the future. Now, what was funny was this article that I showed Mooch was basically about how Microsoft has conceded and how Nintendo have conceded, and now it's just the only console is basically PlayStation. They run this thing. They run this city, right? And that clearly, this whole SAT edition or whatever is Microsoft dipping their toes into what they want as a diskless future. If you look at, there was also another article basically stating that this is what it's called: the all-digital Xbox fulfills Microsoft's original Xbox One vision, which I stated the other day too. Imagine that, another crap gamer ism that got turned into an article. And that's 100% true as well. Microsoft didn't want people to trade used games. Microsoft wanted you to be always online and have expensive-ass digital content. And now this fulfills that. So everybody that was blaming Donnie D, look, they still ended up doing that anyway. He was a scapegoat all along. Microsoft wanted this, and this proves it. So, just stay woke, keep your eyes open. I know it sounds like, crap gamers don't gone crazy or he's upset. I'm the happiest I've been. I was on playing some Spider-Man today, getting some nice messages from some fans. Great stuff. I feel like Microsoft has a lot to prove, and they haven't done a good job of doing that. And
Listen,
this is
in defense of crap, right? And I think and guys listening in the chat and guys that are listening later, and you guys on the panel, I mean, will everybody kind of come around to the idea that we are at a cross? This is not a typical generation end and a generation beginning. This is not.
No, even right? Mikey Barra says, "What's a generation now?"
Right, right.
On RDX, man, he's like, "What's a generation?"
But Xbox, it's not necessarily okay. It's not necessarily what Mikey Barra was just saying, because consumers still have a choice. There's always a choice. I feel like I'm making some kind of Matrix movie. Listen, right? There's always
a generation. A generation is where you buy the next console and you get blown away by the amazing new technologies.
The entire generation, any step that moves away from your traditional way of thinking when it comes to a console, you have struggled with, man.
I don't really care. Listen, I don't really. Here's the thing, though. I don't really care if they move away from traditional. Like, I'm fine with that because it comes down to the quality of the games, and I don't feel like Microsoft has had quality games. There's been a few here and there, and they're all Halo, Forza, or Gears. So they haven't proven that they can do anything beyond that, and I feel like that's going to hurt them long run. They aren't considered to be the upper echelon of first party. They just aren't. Mm-hmm. And I think, and again, so I feel like even if you do count, and I don't care about the streaming stuff or games on PC, I don't care, right? What I do care about is quality content and announcing stuff. Get me excited about your brand. And Microsoft has failed to do that. And this is the 4th year in a row where everybody said, wait till E3, because the last new IP that was announced by Xbox, not new AAA, 2015. You don't believe me? Go look it up. It was Sea of Thieves. That was 2015 was when that was announced. That was the last new IP.
One of the things that you haven't brought up that I thought was interesting, because you've said this early on in your years in YouTube. You said that when you got to 2013, you looked at both consoles. You saw that Xbox had the games you wanted to play.
Yep. And they did that first 2 years.
Made that decision. Listen, if you as a gamer, and this goes for the panel, goes for anyone I talk to ever, if anybody in the Xbox community, if anybody in the Sony community, look, there's been a lot of people this generation in the Sony community that have written me and said, Mooch, guess what? I'm really enjoying my Xbox One X. I didn't boo that person or tell them.
Hey, I think that's fine.
It's up to the indivital, guys.
Listen,
I mean, we're in a different era. It's a different situation.
I don't know how many times
gaming,
I've said
right?
this. I'm not speaking for anybody else. If you guys want your heroes, your fake, your frauds, go pay them, because they'll sit there and tell you the good night fairy tales that Xbox is great and never makes a mistake and no games is great and putting Game Pass on Nintendo and PlayStation is great. There's plenty of people out there that'll blow smoke up your ass for your coin. Right? I'm not one of them. So as far as I'm concerned, Microsoft isn't perfect. I feel like they have some great opportunities. I feel like they blow opportunities almost every single day, though. This E3 is going to be very telling about what they want. I feel like Phil Spencer thinks the gaming world is on his back and he has to show all these multiplats because Sony's not going to be there. And I feel like he thinks if he shows Fable and Ninja Theory's game and Halo and Gears, that everything's going to be great and everybody's going to clap their hands. And I'm not sure that everybody's going to be on board with that. So I feel like they have to show. For me and Mooch talked about that. What did you say, Mooch? How many new AAA IP do you think Microsoft should show?
I would say minimum I would like to see 2.
Yeah, minimum 2.
That's my number.
Likely 3.
Three would. I mean, anything above 2 is gravy. Absolutely.
To be, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, no, Salty. I'm not flip flopping. I've spent years touting Xbox. They have let me down continually. I don't want to be sold on new Xbox hardware before they have new software again. That's, I think, the problem. So I think that's the thing for me. If you're not going to have the software, and Salty, you don't even have a PS4, so I'm not sure why you're talking, because you haven't experienced the greatness of their games yet. If you did, you wouldn't be talking like a person with his head up his ass.
Hour, but stop
I'm just saying, right?
So there were games
I'm just saying, listen, it's easy for people to talk about Xbox versus PlayStation, but unless you really sit down with an open mind and play some of these PlayStation games, you don't realize that stuff like God of War, that's the best game of this generation. Like, that's a moment that you'll never forget. What moment of an Xbox exclusive? Is anybody going to remember this generation from Xbox?
I remember running down.
Sunset Overdrive is for me.
Dude, I remember Halo with the mantises in the.
I knew Xbox was going to go right to Halo. Let me just pay. I got
Halo. The only thing I remember from Halo is the bitch slap fight between Chief and Locke.
Well, I got some super. Hold it up. I got super chats here. Eternal Shade says, "What's the difference when the Kinect was removed? It was still 500. This is just a disk drive, and it was, yeah." And he goes, "This is just a disk drive, and Microsoft is still doing the same move as the previous." And then I got Rock Dog. I really want to get Rock. Where's Rock here? I'm trying to find Rock Dog. Rock says, "Another Xbox." Oh, here we go. Rock, will you stop with this? Another Xbox bathing podcast. More of the crap gamer complaining as a fan. You guys are letting me down. Rock, listen,
hey,
Rock.
I've gotten more support lately than I have in years. People are like, you know what? I'm afraid to say it, but you're right, crap. 4 years without a new IP announcement, it's ridiculous. How much longer are we going to let Huckster Phil get up there and give us new hardware without giving us some software? The only things he talks about,
more respect for you.
Exactly. The only things he talks about are xCloud, which you go look at that interview he did on Inside Xbox. The first thing he talks about is xCloud and how he wants gamers to be gaming everywhere. It's like, that's fine, but give us something to game on everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my point. And they have this E3, I think. There's no Sony there. Why not go all out?
They really need to go all out.
Show what you have. That's all I'm saying. Show what you have. That's all I want to see. I want to see them go out, show what they have, and get people excited again. If they do that, I think people will be happy.
Let me ask this question to Rock. Rock, listen, answer me this question to Rock Dog, because I'm a big fan of Rock Dogs. Rock, do me a favor. If you see a Fable, if you see, and this goes to the panel too, guys, Pred, Xbox, Goldblum, you can chime in. Clowns, want to hear your take on this too. If you see Fable and you see Ninja Theory's game and then Halo and you see Gears, I mean, and this is a genuine question. Are you guys content? I mean,
I don't think that's going to be the only games there. I want to look at the entire show.
Well, he might have more than that. Well, no,
I want to see the unveiling of the hardware.
We're not going to see that this year.
Well, I like seeing multiplats as well. I like seeing exclusives. I play more than just exclusives on my system.
But the thing is, Xbox, the exclusives really shine, though. I mean, that's what really kind of sets it apart. Like, when you play those, that's what really takes advantage of the hardware.
Dude, I had a blast playing Quantum Break, Sunset Overdrive, Rise Son of Rome, Halo.
But those you're talking about games that came out in 2014, 2015.
I'm going all the way through the entire generation.
But those were 2014. Yeah, but
I had a blast playing Crackdown as well. What?
I do, but that game's not. Okay. When you play those PlayStation games, you just see that the quality's not there. It's not the same
old blueprint throughout all first-party studios.
Dude, I'm not the only one that thinks that the quality isn't there. You know what I mean? It's pretty clear that the quality just is not what it used to be. You know, on Microsoft's side.
And one of the things I've been mentioning is, like, we don't have a game of the generation that's come out during this generation of Xbox. Like, it's true. It's Forza, Halo, Gears, and we love those games, but what else do you got? You got to bring something else to the table. And I don't necessarily mean go buying a studio and having them bring something. Like, I loved Ori. That was my generational game. But, like, if that's all you got to the table, and you look at the competition, with the exception of Nintendo, because they do the same shit over and over again, it works for them. But
Yeah.
but Sony has brought games this generation. They brought a couple of games this generation that have been blockbuster hits. Whether you like those games, whether you like, the review scores, the people that reviewed them or not, Gears was a great game. I love that game, and they've come out with, even Spider-Man was kind of shitty to me, but Horizon Zero Dawn was okay. But like the games they've come out with exclusives for the most part of this generation they've been reviewed very well. They've gotten a good reception from the fan base of the gaming community as a whole, not just the fanboys, but just everybody. And we don't have that on the Xbox side. And then we've got the same games coming over and over and over and over again all year, all generation long. And they've not come out with a game that we're going to be like, that's a great IP. I would love to see a sequel for that, because they keep screwing over whatever business deals they have behind the scenes with these studios to make a Sunset, to make a Rise, and these are the games we've been asking for, but we've not seen sequels to those games. So we may never see those games again. So the ball is in their court to create a new IP that we enjoy, that we want to see, and that we know will be made. Right now, everything else that they've done this generation, as far as IPs go, new IPs, has been like, okay, what's going on?
Right. And I think Pred makes a hell of a point.
I mean, you just
there.
look at it, dude. Recore, you can like Quantum Break is fine, but like the TV aspect, a lot of people didn't like that. The game itself was about 4.5 hours long, so that's a bit of a disappointment. I'm trying to think of some of the other new IP that they sunset, but that like they didn't give it a chance.
Rise, Sunset, Quantum Break,
Rise, Quantum Break,
Titanfall.
They should have locked that down. Like Titanfall was probably the best game, in my opinion. So much fun. Like I said, the first couple of years of Xbox was phenomenal. Sony found their footing, and you would figure as the generation goes along. I mean, look, the Rad Brad just tweeted out, "Hey, playing through Days Gone, it gives me chills like The Last of Us for the first time." Wow.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that looks like
me.
Yeah, that was an interesting comment. Rad Brad, you guys know this. I've been following Rad Brad on Twitter for, my God, it's got to be, I'll say 3 years to be safe. I mean, if I'm wrong, it's 2.5. If I'm way off, it's 4. My point being is, he doesn't comment on games typically. He's just like, can't wait to get started. See you guys there. Let's do this. Let's do this. And I'm like, that's fine. I love the guy. Really, honestly, I gotta be honest with you. He doesn't even do anything that great, but I love watching the guy play a video game. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fun guy to watch.
He's an honest guy, crap. Yeah. He's got no opinions generally. And he said, this is kind of, I can't even, like, repeating this is crazy. He said it gave him The Last of Us chills.
That's amazing. Because
that's mind-blowing for me. I mean, The Last of Us is in my top 3 of all time games. Like I love the game. So I mean, my point being here is, you're telling me Days Gone is gonna flirt with that? Matrix Gamer says, who the hell's yelling? I mean, he's right. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, what do you guys, let me just do this real quick, because I do want to get your guys' point on Rad Bread. Let me just, Elemental PO again, thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks to all you guys here tonight. It means a lot. What new IP has Sony announced out now? Right now they have critically acclaimed, and that's it. Or critical acclaim, that's it. It's not enough. Sony doesn't have the same type of games Xbox makes clear and simple.
What?
I don't know. Right?
No,
Am I reading that
doesn't
right?
make any sense.
Hey, can you rewrite that in the chat and like maybe
Elemental PO, maybe if you could write that again. I think what he's trying to say is right now they have critically, I was kind of embellishing. I was trying to help it along. Critically acclaimed games. I don't know. That's it. It's not enough. Sony doesn't have the same type of games Xbox makes clear and simple. I mean, I don't
like State of Decay 2 is like, that's not clear and simple.
That's such a trash game, man. I don't even know why people still tout that game. Like it's like
a great thing to go back and say when you're making an argument, but like when it comes down to it, Sea of Thieves, which is getting a huge update,
that's also a trash game, dude. No, like, come on, dude. That game is so crappy. It's not fun if you're playing by yourself. Like if you're playing by yourself, it's not fun. Like if you have to have people to play a game, I don't feel like that's a fun game at all. Like that's
here I can tell you the reason why it's not a fun game is because they're like, you're gonna get to play co-op with your friends, but if you're playing in, let's say Mooch is host and we're playing with him, we can't progress our story at all, and we can't take any of the stuff in the rucksacks back with us.
Well, that's
it's pointless.
That's pointless. There's no point in playing that.
Salty, I didn't see your fucking question, dude. So give me your question and I'll fucking respond to it, guy. You ain't shit to me, kid. You do this little shitty Salty podcast and the Salty Act. You quit my podcast because somebody made fun of you in the chat like a little bitch.
All right, let's get back to the show.
Well, I want to speak on the whole Days Gone thing. With Days Gone, that gets me excited because I mean, I love The Last of Us 2. You know me, Mooch. I love zombie games like
I love
all
zombie
around.
games too. I mean, this is
Dude.
my month
Dude,
of
I'm not the
zombie.
one going around saying I'm
This is
salty and
definitely-
salty this, man. I could take it. I can dish it, bitch. You proving that you can't. You quit the minute somebody said something. I got kids. I got a wife. I can't take this crap. I got to go. Stay salty, bro. I'm pouring some salt out for you.
Well, that's not one of my topics, crap. I want to.
Yeah, that's not what
Let's get on topic here.
Man, Crap is
no,
angry
listen.
tonight.
I got news
Dude,
for
I
you
don't
guys.
care. I do this shit for fun, salty. What about you, man? Come on, man. Oh, stay salty till shit gets too hot, and then you what? You leave. Get out of here, man. Get out of here.
Let's talk games, guys. Guys, we're all getting along. We're all gamers for crying out loud.
Yes, sir.
I am.
Right?
I am.
I mean, listen.
Salty, I don't care who hates me, dude. You don't think I laugh at everyone else stealing my shtick from years ago? You know, I don't care about that shit, man. I do my thing for me. I have fun with it, and then I'm done with it. I leave it at the door. That's how I work shit, man. I don't care about this stuff. You're the one that's trying to talk shit behind my back. If you want to talk shit behind my back, that's fine. I'm talking to you right in front of you, calling you a bitch. Like what now?
I want to
change this to the
So how
salty
about
crap show.
I'm gonna go
So
back
listen.
to Elemento Pino's question real quick.
Yeah, I
think what
agree.
he was
Let's go
saying.
back to Helena P.O.'s
I think what he was saying was what, because I maybe he's kind of piggybacking off the topic I was talking about earlier, but what he was basically saying, what new stuff has Sony?
Hey guys. Oh, never mind. Go ahead, man.
So they had Horizon Zero Dawn, even though Spider-Man isn't a brand new IP, it was new for the generation. What else did they come out with?
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne, Death Stranding coming out. Like,
And
they
I'm
released-
going back a couple years for
Yep.
Bloodborne crap. I
yeah,
am doing that.
but they've released games
Oh,
that people
my
want to
God.
see again, and they have the opportunity to create sequels for them, whereas
I know you're my
Xbox
brother crap.
doesn't have
Well,
that.
that's the thing I thought when Phil said he was going over to Japan and he was going over to South Korea. I thought we were going to see him bring back something like make a deal and
Jeff
bring something back like they did with Bloodborne, right? With From Software. I mean,
Well, he did. He brought back Code
Well-
Vein. I mean, that game was going to be on the PlayStation exclusively. So, I mean, that's basically like a Dark Souls anime type of game. So, I mean, he did bring back
he
some
did,
stuff.
but but yeah, but are you going to say Code Vein is in the same realm as Bloodborne?
no, it's not. But I mean, it's definitely.
I'm just talking about,
something that he's bringing back.
Well,
At
that's
least
the
he's
thing.
bringing something.
Bring it back for Xbox. Bring it back for PC.
Bring it
Bring it back
Ninja
for whatever he wants.
Fingers
Or-
across for Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, I mean, myself personally, I just think that I think that's the one thing I think Xbox fans are asking for, and it's not that they don't or they don't want it. They want to.
They won't
I think
buy it.
That's the thing. I don't know if they will or they won't. Crap. That's
They didn't buy
another-
Quantum Break. They didn't buy Sunset. They don't buy shit.
Right. Yeah.
They
no,
bought studios.
well, no, he's talking about. I think he's talking
I'm
about
talking
the
about
consumer.
games. I'm
He's
talking about
the
the
consumer.
consumers.
I
Yeah.
mean,
No, see, and that was the one thing, man. Crap. I was right there with you. It's like,
Yeah.
Sunset Overdrive was a great game. All right, could it have been better? Yes, they could have put co-op
Sure.
in the
Co-op
story.
with multiplayer team deathmatch, and it would have
But
been perfect.
show people that you like that overall game, and a sequel will come around. All right. Even Quantum Break, people. You said people didn't like the whole TV show aspect. I gave them respect for trying something new. It didn't work. All right. But if people went out there, it's like, this is a great game. Just drop the TV show, and they looked at the numbers and everything. Maybe they could have got something done there for a sequel as well.
Hey, they got Control.
And that's the thing.
Control's a
The
totally
Control's
different story, man. It's just
Control
it's
not
using
an
the same
exclusive.
engine,
That's the
you know?
problem.
I don't think
that,
Control's going to
like-
hold water. I don't think that's going to do very well, personally.
But that's the thing. Like the Control's not an exclusive to Xbox. It's a multi-plat. So it's like
Right.
they could have grabbed Quantum Break. They could have grabbed Remedy and said like, "Hey, give us your new game. Let's do this, and we'll have Control on Xbox only." That would be fantastic, And it boggles my mind to think that they had Quantum Break, and I liked Quantum Break. I really did, but then they just dropped it like it was nothing. It was just like, why did you guys do that? I understand, like,
But you
it
don't-
didn't sell
Goldblum,
as
you're
well.
saying-
That's why, because that
You're-
was the first game I think that was gonna go Xbox/PC, Windows 10, and they kind of hit at underneath everything at the last.
They were going to use that game to market their kind of like movie side of things and everything as well. And then what happened was after the complete 180, they had to go back to the drawing board and figure out what the hell they were going to do to come out with that game. So, the delays really hurt that game as well. But I feel like at the end of the day, I still go back in and play Quantum Break to this day.
It's still a fun game, yeah.
Why is it
wrong
when
on
Xbox
that.
delays a game, it's like bad, like it gets like negative press?
There is something about that.
Here's
right?
the problem, Fred.
Like,
here's the problem. When Microsoft delays a game, it's because the game's bad and they tried to get it to be average. When Sony delays a game, it's for extra polish and to make it even better. You know what I mean? Like those games, look at the Sony delayed games, Uncharted 4, Days Gone.
All of them.
All of them have been delayed basically, and they all come out much better. Microsoft's delayed games.
They come
let's
out
see, Quantum Break.
What they were going to do in the first place.
Let me see. What was another delay?
Crackdown
3. I mean, fun game, but it's like,
Below.
Jesus, Below. These games just are not.
I didn't even want that game to begin with. Below.
There is something to that. I think what happens is when you start to get like a pedigree, right? You start to get a reputation, and when Sony has a game that comes out and they've had a couple of pretty good bangers out there this generation, and then all of a sudden you get a game like, I'm trying to think. I'm thinking of Resogun comes to mind. But that's not fair, right?
I like that game, dude.
Right, but that was a game that came out when the console came out. So my story doesn't hold weight here.
Right?
But people love that game. And Colin Moriarty loved that game. But to know what Pred said, okay, Predator made a good point. He's like, why is it when Xbox, like, let's be honest, Quantum Break, whether you like the gameplay or not, I don't think the game necessarily aged well. But when it came out in 2015 for this generation, it was a beautiful game.
Yeah.
Right? But like Pred said, for some reason, when it came out, it just didn't get that. It didn't get the love.
You know why? You know why? It looks like 900p, but it's registering 1080p. I don't know what to do with this. So what do you guys think? Oh,
hold on. The reason why it did bad, you could blame the 720p stuff they were doing. What Sony does with the checkerboarding. The game looked good. It had that terrible film over it at first.
Checkerboarding was bad then. That was bad.
They had that really bad film over it at first, and then they took it out later. But the problem was, like, a lot of people didn't want to sit through a half-hour show in between the cutscenes. You know what I mean?
That took away.
You didn't have to, though.
I know you didn't have to, but it really was part of the story.
Well,
what it was,
the show told what was going on in the building, which is
in between.
Like its own kind of cast of characters and everything like that. It was pretty much its own separate story.
But think about this though: if that game had done well and Microsoft believed in it, they're coming out with Control. Couldn't this have been Quantum Break 2?
This could have been an actual.
That's what it is.
According to Inferno, it has all the same mechanics.
Of course it does.
It's
built on the same engine and everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Northlight or whatever that is. So
so this is basically Quantum Break 2, but
absolutely it is.
Well, the reason why, there's a little bit of bad stuff behind the scenes there between Remedy and Microsoft, because I saw an interview on WCCF Tech where they were talking about the name of the game Control comes from the fact of they have their own control now over what they do. Right? They didn't like the idea of Microsoft lording over them anymore. I don't think Control is going to do terribly well, because it's coming out in the summertime and it just does not look that. It looks like Quantum Break. So the same amount of people that were interested in Quantum Break will probably be interested in this. And then they kind of sold out by giving Sony all this exclusive, like an exclusive missions and this and that, and you know what I'm saying. So so Xbox fans probably won't be too into it, and PlayStation fans didn't like Quantum Break. So who's this game geared towards, So I'm not sure it's going to do that well. I hope it does well, but
towards anybody who will pick it up.
Sure, man. Just like Darksiders 3 was, right? Like Mooch played that. Yeah. Mooch goes, this is like a 360 game.
But I love that game. Come on, I love that game.
Well, Goldblum, I don't know. What was I seeing wrong then? Because when I played that game, I got to be honest with you.
Darksiders graphically.
That's the thing. That's the thing, Mooch. If you're not a Darksiders fan, you're probably not gonna like Darksiders 3. Like,
but is that fair? I'm a Halo fan, and Halo 5 looks better than like Halo 1.
Mooch, when it came to Darksiders 3, because I have the game and I want to go.
I do too.
Beat it. The thing is, there are parts to that game graphically that look absolutely incredible, and then right in that incredible scene,
Gonna use some screenshots, Xbot.
you'll have like these taxis or certain parts of the game that look like they're from like the 360 era, even though they're
there are
wrapped
some pictures
around
that are
a
pretty
bunch
bad.
of really cool things, and then that like eyesore is like right in the middle of your scene. So if you're really concentrating on the graphics, it kind of brings you out because it's like, oh man, what the hell is that?
Well, it wasn't just the
Because the
graphics.
story,
Let's
the
be
story
fair
in that
though.
game was really good, but like a lot, I think
The story
the
was
problem
good
with that game,
actually.
the problem with that game is that they try to tout it as being a Dark Souls-esque type of game, and it's not at
Really?
all
It's
like
not.
that.
It's not.
It
I
is
gotta
not
play Dark Souls,
like that
guys.
at all.
I gotta play it. I gotta
It's
play
just-
this game.
You know, they try to tout it
But
like
here's
that.
the thing,
and
though,
I think that's what really hurt it.
Just buy a hammer and hit your nuts with the hammer repeatedly. There's Dark Souls.
Just the left one.
Yeah,
Just the left one.
over and over again. There's
I
your
gotta mute
Dark
myself
Souls.
and yell at the top
Yes.
of my lungs right now.
If
So,
you're gonna play Dark Souls Remastered.
Just play
That's a good
Sekiro.
one. Or play
Or
Sekiro.
play
yeah.
Bloodborne. I hear that's better than the Dark Souls games.
I just
Bloodborne
think
is pretty
personally that the thing with Darksiders that kind of rubbed me the wrong way too, besides the graphics, which is fine. Look, graphics are not everything, guys. I get it. Was like when you start the first, let's say the first level, right, Xbot? You go through. There's scattered enemies, right? They're so far.
Yeah, you got to get through that. You got to get through that first level, dude.
Is that what it is?
You
Is
get
it
through
that
that-
first?
they build up.
That first level,
It
it
builds
builds up. Yeah, it builds up.
you're going through a tutorial, just like 99% of
You guys are talking me into it. I might go back.
Yeah, you might
have to go back. You know, I don't know. I think that game. When you go back to it and you talk about control, though, Xbot, you said something that was kind of interesting. You know, you said you were kind of saying it in jest or just joking. You said, "Is that Quantum Break too?" Hey, listen, you can't see the You can't not see the similarities.
Dude,
Right?
it shares DNA, and it shares a lot of DNA with it. But at the end of the day, we can't say Quantum Break 2. It's a totally different story. Has nothing to do with time or anything like that. It is a sci-fi third-person shooter. So, yeah, definitely. It's using the same engine. I believe.
Well, are you getting it, Xbot?
I don't know, man. I really don't. When's it come out?
I think didn't it August something.
Yeah,
I
dude,
think,
I got time. I got time to decide. It depends on. I have shout out to Sleepy Goblin because he
Great guy, yeah.
he is insistent that like he wants to get me Rage 2, and like the games that are coming out before Control, I don't know what I'm really going to be into when that
Is
game
Rage 2 a May release?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rage 2 is May 13th.
You know, that's got to have everybody's eyes on.
May
lock,
14th, Goldblum.
Is it 14th?
Life on the way.
One day later.
Bird.
But I mean, I gotta say, there's been some interesting things. I saw.
It looks good. I saw it on the Inside Xbox.
It looks great.
It looks
To be
great,
honest
yeah.
with you, I think it's really gonna be like. I think it's gonna be like. Oh God, now I'm not gonna remember. Far Cry New Dawn. It's got that kind of feel to it, but it's more
more
Borderlandsy, right?
The
Could be
only
way
thing-
better than.
the only thing
I
about
agree.
Rage 2
I agree.
Only thing about Rage 2 that I'm concerned about with people, and I want to try to get the word out there, let people know, there's no like sniper rifle. So if there's people that like to play these games from a distance and kind of pick people off and stuff like that,
Well, they want you in the action.
yeah, they want you to go in there. They want you to mess with your abilities. They want you to be creative with all that stuff. So they're not having like sniper rifles and stuff like that in the game. I just want to put it out there before people start buying it. It's like, oh man, what the hell? No scopes? Like what's going on? And I know there are shooters out there that really get into it.
Wait, so Rage 2 has no scope?
No like sniper rifles, nothing like that.
I'm okay with that.
Me
Personally,
too.
let me just say, Shinzei.
Yeah, they
in
want
the
it more
chat,
like Doom.
He says, Microsoft bet us. I don't know. I think this is what it says. Bet us so well. Great lineup. No follow until a new system, but no new IP. Hope that changes, but really hate PlayStation's controls. I mean, Shinzei, I totally appreciate the
I
super
hated
chat.
my
It's hard to.
DualShock 4, man. I hate that.
It's an interesting thing because listen, there is absolutely no way to get around this, right? There's absolutely no way to get around this. The Xbox controller is the king of controllers. I mean, and listen, I think a lot of Sony fans, I've actually seen a lot of Sony fans going out and buying that that controller that's $200 right now. That's very well made. I don't know if it's made by Astro. I don't know who makes it, but regardless,
Astro makes it.
it is Astro, right?
Yeah.
I thought I saw the logo. $200. That's a tremendous amount of money, but people are willing to spend that to play the PlayStation. I will say this much. I played God of War in its entirety. I've played other games. I gotta be honest. I don't. The DualShock 4 serves its purpose. It serves its purpose, but by no means do I want to. I would not want to play with that controller day in and day out. You see a lot of people that went and bought adapters or whatever it was they could do to
Got
fudge
different
it.
controllers that move
Right.
the thumbsticks.
Right, move the thumb, or even Xbox. I thought you were the one that you and Crap originally had mentioned a while back that there's some sort of adapter or there's a way to make it so that your Xbox Elite controller can work on the PlayStation.
Don told me
Don?
that, Don told me that there is an adapter where you can use your Xbox One controller, your Elite controller, or whatever to play on the PlayStation.
Yeah, I think it's the Cronus Max.
Yeah.
How much is that?
It's like $40-$50, man.
No, I mean it's worth
Where
it if
can
you're
you buy
playing
that
on it.
from?
Yeah, probably online Crap.
Amazon.
You can actually
baby.
you can
What's
buy
it
that at
called?
Best Buy. I saw it at Best Buy.
What's it called?
Cronus Max.
Cronus Max, yeah.
Cronus Maximus. That being said, guys, let me talk about this real quick. This was a kind of a last week thing, but I do want to discuss it.
$60. Don said it.
Yeah, Don says 60.
The
And
Jedi.
I bought it. Welcome to playing PS4 games with my Elite controller.
I thought you were going to say, welcome to 2019. I
No.
bought something and it'll be here tomorrow.
I bought. Well, yes.
That's
I have bought
amazing.
it. I will be playing PS4 games with a Xbox One X Elite controller. Thank you.
There you
guys
go,
are awesome,
Crap.
man. I
I'm just glad
appreciate it.
you're showing up online.
No, hey, that's
Crap.
awesome, man.
Hey,
I
Crap.
can like my battery won't die every
Crap,
4 hours.
when you go to play Detroit with that, just snap every single of the paddles and this button, and you're good. Okay.
Dude, I've already
man.
beat Detroit, man. I played it back to back. That's how good it was.
You know,
man.
I'm
Come
gonna
on.
play it again just for bot.
You should,
Dude,
man.
is that
Come
going to
on,
be
man.
gameplay for next podcast?
Shout out to
It'll be next
TLR9 who says, I hope everyone has a
Losing
great
gameplay.
Easter. Enjoy your family. And whether it's on Xbox or PlayStation game on TLR, thank you for that great chat on this holiday weekend. Appreciate that. What do you guys think about this Jedi game that's coming out?
Dude.
It's just a trailer, but it did kind of raise an eyebrow, right, guys?
Oh yeah.
I'm excited. I
You know?
think from what I saw and from what Vincent Pella was saying, I know Vincent Pella is a dirty word in this podcast, but
No, he's fine. Fine.
I think it's gonna be great, man. I'm glad that they're going on the Unreal Engine 4
How come
engine.
they're allowed to do Unreal Engine 4, but nobody else at EA is?
See, that's the weird thing. I don't know
I
if
bet he cut a
Vincent Pella
deal or
has some
something.
pull or something like that.
Man, he's
I
got
don't
some
know.
Well,
dirty
what-
photos or something.
Wouldn't they say? Wouldn't it? I thought they said, right? That was pretty good. I thought that they said that they were working on this Jedi game before they got acquired.
Well,
think?
no, actually, I think I think it was a little bit before they got acquired that they started working on this Jedi game, and from what I'm hearing from the story, it just sounds like it's going to be right up my alley with the type of Star Wars game that I want.
I got to be honest with you, and I'm not a Star Wars nut. I've said this. I try to tell everybody every week, keep them up to date. I'm not. I've watched every Star Wars. I've probably watched every Star Wars 5 times. And you know how you can say, well, Mooch, doesn't that make you a bit of a Star Wars nut? No, Star Wars nuts have watched movies like 5 times while it was still in theater.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like period.
Yeah,
And,
I saw episode 1, 2, and 3 like probably at least 5 times each.
Yeah, you've gone a number of times. Like there's people, we all follow each other on Twitter, right? There's a bunch of people who are like, well, off to see The Last Jedi again. I'm like, you might as well start in it.
I don't know anybody who saw that piece of shit more than once.
The hardcore crap, the real hardcore.
The hardcore hate it, man.
Well, they made like $100 billion in a half hour. I don't know how they did it.
Yeah.
Whatever the secret is, someone let Mooch in on it.
Oh, terrible.
I'll take half. But listen, I got to be honest with you, Crap. This is a game that really
I'm excited.
right?
I'm
It's got a
excited.
story.
No.
It's got things going on. It's Jedi World. I like this. I believe. Are you playing as a protagonist or an antagonist?
You're
playing as
protagonist. Yeah, you are escaping.
I'm
the
digging that.
Order 66,
Digging
which
it.
I think is awesome. They're saying it's a spiritual successor to The Force Unleashed, which I think is pretty cool.
Okay.
It's canon, so that's pretty cool. I'm just glad we're getting a story-based Star Wars game because that's actually something that people have been asking for since they got the license.
Let me ask you guys a question on the panel.
Hey, low key though, I want to say this. Low key, there's very little risk in buying this game because this studio has put out nothing but fantastic games. Apex, Titanfall 1 and 2. You could sit there and
They do have a
not
good degree.
Yeah,
No, they
you can
do.
sit there and not, they're also the ones behind Modern Warfare, Warfare 2.
Yeah.
So
My
so
favorite
these,
one, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. So these guys are good, and you can hate on Titanfall 2 if you want for the multiplayer because they messed up some there.
Right.
But the single player is great, and it's still pretty good. So they've got a pedigree. I believe that this is going to be a really, really good game. And I, for one, and this is one of those games that is going to be a must-have game for me because I love Star Wars, and it just looks so damn good,
Yeah, no, I agree. What do you clowns? Can we get clowns in here? I need clowns.
I'm here.
Clowns, what do you think about?
How you mind?
Well,
There
clowns,
he is.
he's here.
I thought he was sinking.
Well, Florida's always thinking.
He's got his scuba gear on. Clowns, aren't you a Star Wars nut?
Well, I'm not a Star Wars nut per se,
And I mean that in a good way, by the way, folks.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
come on,
I mean, I like Star Wars, right? I think it's a great series, and I'm excited about the game. I think Respawn is fantastic. Cinematics look good. I do want to see some more. I actually want to see actual gameplay, though. And I hope EA doesn't ruin it. My big fear is EA.
Well, EA is in a lot of.
Well, I mean, EA. I don't think EA is going to tell Vince Zampella what to do because you look at Apex Legends, right? It came out, it was polished, it works, it's crisp, people love it. People still love it. So when you have Vince listen, my whole thing with Vince was I thought myself personally, I always try to, again, I've said this like 3 or 4 weeks in a row, but it's how my mentality is. I always try to think if you're sitting at the boardroom table, right? And everybody on this panel right now, we have a business, we're selling these games, or we're the developers and we're selling our game. I wouldn't want to come out and just favor one or the other if I'm going multi-plat. That's when you go out there. That's when you have the right to burn a candle. That's when you should be burning candles and sing Kumbaya because you want everybody playing this thing. Like the Mortal Kombat 11 is, I don't know if it's more than I think it's more than a rumor now because people said they played it. The Mortal Kombat 11 is coming out on the Switch, right? So when you see Ed Boon out there, Ed Boon's like, switch it up.
Yeah, it looks like shit too on the Switch. So.
Well, I'm sure it does crap, but I mean, Ed Boon ain't gonna come out and say that. He's not gonna come out and be like, I bleed blue or I bleed green.
No, I mean, why would he? He's gonna try to sell his game on as many platforms as possible.
God, business 101, folks.
Imagine that,
right? And so when Vince came out and made the comments he did about Titanfall, and then some of the staff that made their comments about Titanfall 2, it's a bit demeaning, but nonetheless.
Yeah.
Now we're moving on, and this is one thing you got to say is what you were saying, Crap, is that they are a very polished company. So, I mean, I got to be honest with you. The other thing is you can see the way somebody kind of presents themselves, right? And when you see someone stand up or have this presence on stage like Vince had during that presentation, man, you saw that he was proud, right? He was a proud developer, proud of his company, proud of his team. So when I saw that, I mean, we only saw, let's be honest, it was a CGI trailer. I like the story. I like where it's going. But realistically, I was impressed with the demeanor of the company. I said, these guys are proud of this shit. So, I mean, Pred, what do you think? Are you all in on the Star Wars front? Is this your bag? I'm not sure. He's muted. I don't know if I can get Pred back. I think the cat knocked over the old microphone.
I was just thinking it's the cat.
Yeah, go ahead. Xbox, what about you? I mean, we all know what you love, right? Like you love certain movies. Is Star Wars your cup of tea? Is it your bag?
I get it. I get into Star Wars. I'm probably not a bigger fan or as big a fan as Crap is, but this unveiling, it definitely sparked my interest. I did really like the first Force Unleashed. I got into that game. I had a lot of fun playing it, and they're saying
the Lego game.
Force Unleashed, man.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
I can't stand Lego games anymore, brother.
Yeah,
I can't do it, man.
Yeah. Some of the Lego games are pretty cool, but
I can't do it anymore, dude. I cannot do it.
The Star Wars ones I really like. So
I can't. They can make it. They can make a Halo Lego, and I won't buy it.
Yeah.
To be really honest with you,
dude, did you not see the Mega Blocks when they got canceled? That looked actually pretty good.
I saw that. But when it comes to this game, I like kind of like the story that they're building up here. The second sister being a Sith, the one that's coming after you, all that good stuff. I gotta see gameplay though. I can't really absolutely.
Yeah, you can't really judge.
I can't absolutely commit to it until I see the game, and I'm like, damn, I can see myself playing this game. But right now, it has my interest, so I can't wait to see some more on it. and as soon as they show me some gameplay, then I'll decide right then and
Well,
there.
what
Like,
is it? I thought this was coming out at the end of the year.
It is November 20th.
So they're going to have some sort of a game reveal. I would assume May, or are we talking about E3?
Yeah, and the unveiling is just to get people excited, kind of get people to start to get to know the game. I do like that. I like it.
I'm
like
okay with that.
It has my interest.
Oh, excuse me. This December 2019 is what they say. So that's weird.
Really? Because I heard it was November.
November 15th.
November 15th, is that it? Okay, because I just Googled it and it says, you would think that it would come out to coincide with the release of
the only thing. Listen, this might break records. This might actually break records.
Do you not remember years ago when Battlefront 1 came out and Sony put that damn Darth Vader sticker on there?
Yeah.
And it ended up selling like 10 million copies that year. Like crazy
Genius.
stuff. So yeah, people I think if Disney and J.J. Abrams changed this newer movie around enough to get rid of a lot of the stuff that happened in the last movie, they can save Star Wars. I know it sounds ridiculous. Oh, save Star Wars, because there's big fans of it, and I'm a fan of it. But the Last Jedi was so off-putting. I think a lot of people just are kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not oversaturation, because how many Marvel movies a year come out, and we still go see all those, right?
That's true.
Star Wars has a larger universe spanning back even to the KOTOR era. And how can we possibly, the problem is that one, because this is like the main saga of these 9, and had somebody come in who didn't know what they were doing, didn't respect the characters, and kind of screw that up, and they have to fix that. And it looks like, to their credit, it looks like they're fixing some of that stuff in the new one. And because you got to tie it all together, you know what I mean? You can't ignore the first 3 or the middle 3. You know, you've got to tie it all together. For me personally, I would have loved to seen at least once the original cast all together at one time. Like, I felt like that was a missed opportunity.
Right.
You know what I mean? Instead, they bring the original cast in just to kill them off. Like, like, I don't know. Get rid of the old guys and bring in the new ones. I get it, but I feel like if they would have sacrificed themselves to help the newer ones, but got together one last time, that would have been great fan service. And
I'll tell you something, man. Just talking about this crap, and listen, I know you were gung ho for Battlefront 2, and you know what? Listen, I'm not going down that path. You had every right to. You were really excited. You liked what the game was 10 years ago. I don't think that game completely delivered for those fans. But myself personally, I wanted to ask the panel, the chat, and please do chime in. What's the last Star Wars game besides The Force Unleashed? I mean, everybody goes to that. What's right? Like, come on, because I played that one. It was okay. What's another? Good, it was all right. What was
fantastic,
Mooch. It was all right. And,
it was a little short. It was a little short.
On. But, it's what it is. So listen, here's the. Brad, what do you think? What was the last Star Wars game that you really loved?
Honestly, man,
KOTOR.
What was the one that was? I think it was KOTOR.
I gotta get on this KOTOR.
I told you I played through it back in Pat. Mooch goes, nobody will. And I was like, I played through the whole damn thing.
I think it was KOTOR was the last one I actually enjoyed and played.
It's $1.99.
I like Battlefront 2, but I only like one part of it. I like the flying part of it.
Really?
Maybe I should give it a shot.
I
am really in the mood for a Star Wars game where it goes through on a character level. You know what I mean? Man, I am.
Mooch, when it came to KOTOR, when KOTOR came out, I had bronchitis. And I had bronchitis for like a week and a half. And I just got that game. I was like bedridden for a week. That game saved my sanity. And it became one of those.
I'll tell you something, Xbot. You make a great point, Xbot. I don't know. Listen, it sucks when you're sick. I'm not going to put any kind of sugar on that. But I mean, when you have like a sore throat or that kind of like flu symptoms, and right when you're coming, you can't go to work. If you're in school, you can't go to school. Man, there's nothing like playing a good game like that and getting into it, right, Xbot?
Yep.
You got your couch, you get your whatever you're having, coffee, tea, whatever you like, and you just get into it. I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think that's a lot of fun. I agree with that. I do want to bring something up with you guys, though, and I was going to start with Goldblum, because Goldblum, boy, you know the one thing I like about Goldblum? He lives over in California, but I think sometimes he doesn't belong there. Which is fine.
I am from the East Coast, so.
I knew something was up, Goldblum. See that? Mooch the detective. Listen, I think there's something to be talked about here with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. I think that they could have probably hit this home a little bit more if the price was tweaked. We all said they should combine them, so they did the right thing there. But what do you guys think about this? I mean, do you think that they nailed it?
I think they were hoping people are stupid. It's the same price if you buy both.
It's not your turn.
If you buy both, listen. If you buy both, if you buy a year of both, it's $180. Or if you pay for both together month to month, it's $180. You know, like it's ridiculous.
What's the sweet spot, crap?
$100.
Yeah, listen, I gotta be honest with you. I'm kind of a crap on that. Or let me say this much. How about this? Let's all be honest. What have we said for a long time? Xbox is on the gravy train.
I'd pay $40 a year for Game Pass to be included with my year of gold.
Well, see, I'm thinking of it the other way. Hear my point now, crap. Tell me.
66%
Hold
off.
on. Let me see if you guys will float with this Moochism, okay, or Mooch economics here coming at you. I think that Microsoft wants to make Game Pass amazing, right? So and everywhere. Hear me out, guys. We've been saying for so long now, all of us, crap. We've all been saying, okay, that they're making hand over fist on this $60 a year for Xbox Live Gold. Here's what I'm saying: $120 a year, both. Boom! Thank you guys very much. The show should end right now.
As long as you buy it by the year.
Absolutely, Xbox, you got to buy the year. $120, you get gold.
That would be a great price point.
Right? And now think about the numbers. Think about this, folks. Think about this for a minute, please. You are talking about, what do they have? 65 million people on Xbox Live, right? Or whatever they're saying, active users or whatever the big number is. That number for Game Pass would skyrocket. Why not?
I see. For me, I don't
double dip.
I don't like Game Pass, so I didn't even want this to begin with. I just want. But
would you buy it for 120?
All right, that's it. Kick him off the panel, man.
I wouldn't, because of the fact that I can get my gold for cheaper than what other people pay. Because you can go on different websites and get your gold for 40, sometimes even 30, sometimes even a little bit cheaper than that.
Goldblum, absolutely. And I know where you're coming from. I do.
I don't see the value in this one because of the fact that I don't really like Game Pass. There's every game that I have, I own.
Treason.
I like to own. I like to own my games.
Treason.
I'm sorry, I like to own my games. I'm sorry, but
you can't like it. It's God's gift to gaming.
Fail Pyromancer says Game Pass isn't worth keeping all year round, but Fail Pyromancer,
it's not.
Would you do a combo? Okay, Game Pass and gold for 120. That's basically essentially asking you to pay for Game Pass and they throw in gold. Now you're probably saying, listen, Failed says it's not good, it's not worth your money right now. But let's be honest here, guys. We now see the plan moving forward. Whether you like them all or not, Microsoft starting in 2020 is going to have games coming out spaced
that launch lineup, man.
Right. So
all on Game Pass.
Well, come on, Phil. Phil Pyromancer says $75 for both. Phil, that's not going to flow. That's not going to work. I couldn't even take that to the board meeting. I don't care how many charts you got.
Yeah, they would fire you right away.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Who the hell got this guy in here with a sales pitch?"
And who's yelling?
Who yells in the middle of an interview? Element Appeal comes back and he says, "If you upgrade to Ultimate, you get it for $1 for the first month." Microsoft does listen to the feedback. Element Appeal, that's 1 month. We're talking about a duration of gaming. I would want to see a little bit more than a month. I get it. I definitely see that, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Because right now, the price that they're saying right now, $14.99 a month, if you add it all together, standard price for Xbox Live Gold for a year is $60, right? And you $10 per month for Game Pass. It's just those two things combined. You're not really saving anything.
No, you're not. And that's why I don't agree with this whole $180. I think that's way too steep of a price point. And I also, I don't think Game Pass is at the point right now to where they need an ultimate, bundle. I don't think it's there yet.
They're gearing up. They are gearing up.
I know they're gearing up, but I think they should.
They're going to have all their ducks in a row.
I get that, dude. But that's the thing. For $180, right now, that's not even a good. I mean, it's not right now. Of course, it's not. You can't get it yet. But I mean, it's just
How is this in
it's not
beta,
worth
by the
it.
way? What is a
It's not worth
beta
it.
about this?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Like, how do you do like, oh, we can't get this to work right, so you might get charged more or why does this need a beta? I was confused by that. Did you guys see that? Like, you can't do this
Yeah, it's a
yet, but
beta.
it's in beta.
Yeah, it's for insiders or whatever.
Yeah,
It's just
like
like
They
I
want to
don't.
see how many insiders will actually do it and get it kind of a.
The
You know,
fucked up part
Microsoft,
about that is
they're
most of
numbers.
those insiders probably already have Game Pass and
Right.
Xbox Live. So
Exactly.
Well, I'm an insider. I have both. So yeah.
Of course.
Yeah,
you do.
I don't know. Myself personally, I think that here's the thing. So 2 times in about a week span, maybe 2 week span, you've got Xbox that comes out and brings out the all digital edition, and it's more or at best equivalent, if you will, with a sale of the Xbox One S, right? So you've got that. That doesn't really intrigue people. Then they come out and they go, we have Xbox, Game Pass Ultimate, something you guys have all been asking for. And we're like, yes, great. 2 for 1. Nope. It's almost basically like like Goldblum said. Listen, gold is on sale more often than not. I mean, so when you do the numbers,
And sometimes even Game Pass is on sale more often than
Game
not.
Pass was like 6 months. It was like 6 months for like $60 or so, or less than that. Pardon me.
Something
it was
like
6
that,
months for like $30. It was half price. And my point being is like, Microsoft kind of shoots themselves in the foot, and we see this all the time. And I think that's where people get a little bit frustrated, right? Like, even if you're an Xbox, I'm an Xbox fan, and I say this all the time. Why not take Xbox Game Pass Ultimate? Let's really put a decent price on this thing, right? Microsoft's been getting a lot of slack for the past year and a half, because they've said Xbox is PC and PC is Xbox. The PC gamers get to enjoy the same UI, the same hub, the same everything that we all get on Xbox, but they have the free games. They get to play multiplayer games for free. My point being is, this would have been a really nice gesture. Don't you guys think that? Don't you think this would have been a really great gesture to say $120, buy our Game Pass? They watch on Game Pass. Believe me, they do. They do. And listen, they still make their money. They still make their money because their numbers skyrocket for Game Pass if you do this and you give gold with it. Okay? And they don't have to word it that way. Just bundle them together. Yeah. And then you say, there's gonna be a lot of people who like Failed Pyromancer in the chat, a lot of people like Dark Goldblum. I don't want Game Pass. Guess what? You don't need it. You can just pay them the $60 for gold.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Right.
That's what I'm going to continue to do.
Good job, man.
Right?
That's what I'm going to continue to do.
I don't understand. And shout out
well,
to...
Mooch, what do you think they're going to do with this stuff? Or do you think they're going to make people who use xCloud pay the ultimate for the ultimate? Or do you think they're just going to be able to pay for xCloud or whatever and or Game Pass and play the games?
That's a good question, Crap.
There's a lot of questions and very few answers. That's one of the things that always bothers me.
Yeah.
Like they always announce something and you don't know what it is. It's like, not to kind of compare the two again, but remember Sony's like, we got remote play with iOS and here's how you can do it. Use it or don't. They announced it the day that it came out, and Microsoft announces stuff and you still have no clue how it's going to work long term. And so I think that that's going to be something like, are people going to have to pay to use these services on a phone or a laptop or whatever? How's that going to work? Are they going to have to pay Xbox Live? Are we, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know like Xbox was really hoping to get a removal of the online paid service. But
I like your question,
let
though,
me live
Crap.
that down, brother.
No, dude, listen, hey, everybody's wrong about something, man, but it's true. It's like,
dude, it
doesn't make sense that we pay that.
Dude, I really thought that they were going to kind of, get rid of the price for Xbox Live moving into the new series of hardware. But now you see with the plans that they're doing, it's a valid question. What are they going to do in terms of xCloud with Game Pass? Are you going to have to get the Ultimate? Are you going to have both services to be able to play on devices? Or are you not going to need an Xbox Live account? And then that'll just be another thing.
I'll be honest with you. Listen, Microsoft is they're fairly predictable at this stage. To answer Crap's original question, xCloud, Crap, I think you're going to need, you're probably going to need Xbox. You're going to need Ultimate Game Pass.
You think so?
Because you can't put any physical media into it. However, depending on I guess my question comes back. My question comes back to,
that's a big price tag, though, man. $15 a month.
Not if it's a cheap. Well, it might be a really cheap box though, crap, because it may not have the hard drive space to handle many games, right?
But here's the thing though, like if somebody has a phone or whatever, most people are playing free games on their phone, and then they want people to possibly pay $15 a month for something. I don't know if they're really going to be into that.
When it first comes out, it's meant to be kind of like an add-on to what you're gaming on. You know
Gotcha. Yeah, I always look at it as a third option for people. You know what I mean? Like.
And then they're going to see how much that will evolve because, like I said, about kind of like the newer generation of consumers that are coming up, people who are used to playing on a smaller screen don't really care what's going to happen with them. And I think that's what they're looking at. You know, at first it's going to be an add-on, and then they're going to see where those consumers, like how they grow and where they're going to put their money into, man.
Yeah, I think I think it'd be interesting. They have to definitely show people that they can have the games to make it worthwhile. Before people adopt it, because I do think you're right. Like Sony's going to do it, and then it's really going to come down to whose content they really want. Like we're getting more and more into this whole streaming thing. Like I'm down with the Disney streaming service. That looks like it's going to be really good.
Yeah, dude,
like, that means
hell, man. Like,
yeah, that means I'll have Disney.
Let's not fall for that again, right?
Like I'll have. Well, I know exactly. It's like I'm gonna have the Disney, the Netflix,
Netflix was but Netflix was $8.99 when it started, and now it's up to what is it, $12.99 now?
$15.
What is it?
It's $15. It just
That's
went
what I'm
up.
saying.
Yeah,
you know, it was $8 when it started, guys.
I only use it for a few shows now.
One thing I want to say about the streaming. Well,
they lose all their content. If you don't got that exclusive content that draws people in, man, Disney took their shit back. So now you can, you're gonna have to watch that stuff.
I mean, that's probably your best. That's probably your best evidence right there. You see, Disney was like, wait a minute, now wait a second. Yeah. Netflix is capitalizing on our stuff. Yeah, we're making money off of it. Who cares? Right? Yeah, give me our shit back.
The one thing that Sony has when it comes to streaming their games to other devices, right? If you look at what Xbox does, their titles have like a single player and a multiplayer. Like it's spread throughout. Like it's a total package per se. And I know games like Uncharted, they have multiplayer and stuff like that. But when you look at their games, a lot of the focus is on the single player campaign. So when they do the streaming, there's not, they might be able to go in there with less tech when it comes to latency and stuff like that because you're going in on a more single player story driven experience than where Xbox has like the single player and the multiplayer and it kind of like everything all together.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It really is. And I want to talk about one. It's a quick subject, guys, before the end of the night. Listen, Cuphead was a decent success on the Xbox.
What did it do,
right?
like 4 million or something?
Yeah, I mean it did quite well, crap. And now it's over. I believe it's made its way over to the Switch.
Yeah, I saw that.
And don't get me wrong. It's funny. There's certain games that come out and they just feel like they should be on a handheld. And this is one of them. But
remember, people, when this game... Yeah, go ahead, Pred.
No, go ahead, Pred.
I don't remember when this came out. I remember, like I said, Cuphead is a great game to be playing on Switch.
You did. He did. Give Pred credit where credit's due. He did say that. And I mean, my only question was, generally... they love the tout. Everybody loves to say, "Oh my God, it's doing well. It's doing so well." I haven't heard any numbers yet, and I'm wondering, is it doing well on the Switch? Is that a Switch kind of? Is that the Switch's bag?
I haven't seen anybody posting anything on
usually
Twitter
that company was real quick to point out.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
crap.
So yeah. I would wait a week or two and then see what they say.
When did it come out? Tuesday?
I think so. I believe so.
That's I said the same thing. I looked around. I said, "Is anyone putting screenshots up?" Like, "Hey, I play Cuphead on Switch. Check me out." No, I don't see it. So I haven't seen a lot of that. The only people I've seen saying it's great are people reviewing it, which the review doesn't really hold a lot of water this time. I mean, let's be honest. It was on purpose. Doing that cartoony, granular thing. I thought it was great.
It released yesterday.
Okay, so that's why we haven't seen any number. I saw reviews coming out over about a week ago. That's why I didn't know how long it's been out. So give it time. And
it released on Xbox September 29, 2017. So well over a year, So, I'm fine. To me, it's like, hey, it is what it is. I thought the game was good. I don't think it was great. I know a lot of people like really.
Well, let me tell you something, boy. I'll tell you. And I'm playing through Sekiro, and I'll do my plug later. I got news for you. Boy, this freaking game, that Cuphead. I'm at the very end of Cuphead. I think I have 3 bosses left to beat. And I'm fighting this one boss. And I'll tell you, I haven't gone back to it in months. Yeah. I used to really, what I did for Cuphead, I think you guys in the chat will enjoy this too. You guys have a game, whether it be Trials Fusion or Trials Rising, or it be, Cuphead or whatever it may be. I would play on Sunday when I knew I had a little break, I would go and try to I had an hour free. I would put an hour into beating a boss. And I would beat a boss. And I'm right at the end. And I've played this boss. Now, again, I haven't gone back in months. But I went and did this boss over and over. And I came so close. And I just died. And the thing that I think that irks me the most about Cuphead is this. All I ask out of Cuphead is put an enemy's health bar above their head. Right? Well, no, because
you don't know until after you die or you beat them.
Yeah, I don't know if it was another 80 hits or another 8 hits. Right? I mean, listen, Sekiro's hard, but when you look at how far you've progressed, like when I beat Lady Butterfly, which may sound like a crazy name, but that was a hard fight. I got news for you guys. I lost like 6 pounds during that fight.
Not really, Mooch. It was a pretty.
I'm editing that
fight.
part of the show. Goldblum, it wasn't great. It wasn't her that was the hard time. It was those. It was the damn.
Was it the Xbox controller? Because the bumpers. Because the bumpers suck on that damn controller.
Well, I will say this much: he might have made a point on that. The bumpers are the weak spot. Everybody's got an Achilles heel, don't they? Everybody's got an Achilles. You know what my Achilles heel is? Pizza. But nonetheless, okay,
I missed the first.
I could be on the best fitness diet of my life. Somebody brings over a pizza, and I'm just dying to eat it. Listen, the right and left bumper. You make a great point, and that whole game is built off the bumpers. Dirty J says, "Who the hell's yelling?" That's a great point, Dirty. But I just wish we had a health bar on that game, because that game, it bugs me. I don't know how far I am. I mean, how far did you guys get? Anybody beat Cuphead on the panel?
No,
I haven't beat it yet.
That game's no joke.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
wow,
not.
clowns! That's a lot coming from you, because you and Assassin beat everything like 8 times. You see Assassin? Assassin's name is now in the Sekiro credits.
Yeah. He played that game 5 times, 5 playthroughs.
I believe, dude, you have no idea. I have retweeted and liked every single thing that Assassin has done in that game. I do it. Actually, I do it in pretty much all the games he's done except for Battlefield 5, because that game was not good. But nonetheless, it wasn't. Come on, Xbox. Wait, Pred, you're not saying that game was good, did you?
I love that game.
Pred!
Loved it.
What do you love about it?
It's guns.
You can't love that game, Fred.
It's not like some weird ass fucking Halo gun with fucking spikes coming out.
God bless you, Fred.
It's real weapons. I love it.
No, you know what? Maybe I should play with Fred then. I still owe Sir X-Man a game too. Guys, it's been an awesome show tonight. Listen, we've got to stick to the game. We got to have fun out there, guys. There's life. Let me tell you something. This was a hellish week for the Mooch. It was a hellish week. I was so looking forward to Friday. And I am going to go ahead and take a few minutes. I am going to play a lot of video games this weekend if I have time. Nonetheless, I'm going to try my best.
Are you going to stream video games?
Absolutely, crap. I got to play Sekiro. I've got to beat Sekiro, crap, before Days Gone.
What about Ninja Gaiden 2, man?
Oh, Days Gone, baby. Woo!
That Days Gone does look good. But Ninja Gaiden 2, I'll say something, I told Crap this too, so Crap's my witness. I said, boy, I'll tell you, I'm not a big fan of going back and playing games from back in the day. But that Ninja Gaiden looks pretty good. And what was that? What was that? Crap. What was the Splinter Cell that came out recently?
Yeah, the Blacklist one, right?
Boy, that looked good. Whatever.
That looked good on the 360, man. They really amped it up. It was a different voice actor played them though. That's why that one didn't do too well. Plus, the Xbox One and PS4 came out at the same time. So, hopefully we see a new Splinter Cell. It'll probably be like a games as a service game though. So,
Well, shout out to Def Jam Bam who's in the chat. Mortal Kombat 11. Listen, Def Jam Bam, I'm going to have to mooch that one, Def Jam. So I don't know if you got an extra copy, but if you can send it to Mooch, I can't see getting Mortal Kombat 11. There's so many games out right now.
Get in on Mortal Kombat. Me and you, Bam.
Let's Def Jam Bam. Hey, I want to see Def Jam Bam stream some of that, man. Come on.
Absolutely.
Let's go. Him versus Mooch.
He streams. No. Well, someone's got to mooch me a code, crap.
Yeah, somebody mooch a code, and then I want to see him versus Def Jam Bam because I got about 10 minutes to spare.
Mooch
Yeah, right.
me a code, damn it.
Goldblum used to be in the giving mood back in the day. What happened to Goldblum?
I got selfish as a
Life.
little
I
bitch.
think life found a way. Yeah, life found a way.
Life
Mooch.
found a way.
Mooching found a way.
Goldblum, you
Mooching
may have
found a
picked
way.
the best. Listen, I'm a big fan of the whole everything everyone's got his name. Your Goldblum character is fan goddamn tastic. I love it. Listen, let me go in reverse order here, and I will start with the one and only Dark Goldblum. Goldblum, awesome to have you here, dude.
Always good to do a podcast with Goldblum.
Isn't
man.
it?
He doesn't do enough podcasts these days, man.
Well, he's back.
I
He's
know.
back.
I'm back.
So listen, and props to Xbox for finding Goldblum. But I'll tell you this:
Hey, we all take Xbox panel members and put them on our shows.
yeah, we do Xbox.
I had Nox and
What's that say about
Predator.
next podcast?
Right. Next is great. Listen, I got news for you. Xbox, I'll give you a quick plug. Next podcast is a lot of fun to watch, dude. I'm always doing something on Saturday night, but what I do is I put it on in the background and I listen, man, because you guys are entertaining, love the gaming, love everything you guys do, and you're so energetic. So I really appreciate that. But Goldblum, let people know where they can find you, buddy. And thanks for being here tonight.
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at Dark Optimus. You can also find me on Xbox Live and PlayStation at the same
So
name.
Goldblum.
Yeah.
It was a delay of like
Yeah, you
8
guys
seconds.
Where's he like in fucking China? He's like,
delayed?
I didn't hear
Yeah.
it.
You remember, in case you ever want to
I
listen,
didn't hear it.
listen
I
to the
didn't
show
hear it.
for Goldblum.
And you guys can also find me
Yes.
on the next podcast every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Always
4
good
p.m.
to have you,
Pacific.
Goldblum. Love it, buddy. Love it. And then I got Predator. Pred. Listen, I got news for you, Pred. You've talked me into maybe this weekend getting let's take a couple minutes and play a little Battlefield 5. Me, you, and Sir X-Man, and anyone else who wants to join. But Sir X-Man, I do owe a game with the great Sir X-Man. Pred, let people know where they can find you. And thank you so much for being here tonight.
Anytime, man. Predator _H2OS, pretty much everywhere. Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, MySpace.
Steam,
wherever.
according to Randy Pitchford, Steam's going to be dead in 5 to 10 years. So
No, it's not. Epic.
MySpace is on, baby.
So next podcast tomorrow. I'm still undecided if I'm going to be able to make the show or not. But if I'm there, make sure you vote for me.
I appreciate that, Pred. Awesome to have you here. Always is. And then I've got my Paisano down south, which I just told you, my Achilles Hills Pizza. And I know that Clowns is making one as we speak. Clowns, let people know where they can find you, brother. And thanks for being here.
Yeah, every Thursday, 4 Guys with Quarters, and then I do this other podcast, and then I do the Tick podcast. I haven't been on Next podcast in a while, so I miss Xbot. I miss Xbot, man. And tonight, man, I thought the Gambino Clowns was have to come out and do a consigliere moment, but
Yeah.
I think that's the most words I've heard him say on this podcast.
it is.
I mean, I'm wearing my dad's diamond pinky ring tonight, so
I've got it clocked at 150 words this night. So mark that down. We're good, man. We're
That's
good.
great. Always good to have Clowns. You got to chime in more often, people. People love the Clowns. They love them.
They do.
I'm a big fan myself. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
why
lie
doesn't
to
he?
you.
I
Yeah,
might
he
just have
should.
to start screaming in Italian. To,
Yeah.
people hear me.
Clowns, Clowns, you've been here since we started the show. You can say whatever you want.
Madone!
Yes. That was great. That was so good. I appreciate it, Clowns. Always good to have you here. And then I got Xbot 448.
What's going on?
4 Xbot, let people know what you got going on. I know you got a hell of a thing planned for tomorrow.
Dude, yeah. Tomorrow, not only do we have one special guest, but I actually got 2 coming in Saturday, 7 p.m. on my
Who is it?
podcast. We're having none other than Slow-Mo Backslap himself and
Nice.
a newer guy, a guy who hasn't made the rounds yet. So, Mooch, you might want to tune in and
I will be.
it might be a future special guest here, but
He uses Xbox podcast as a AA ball team.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that Mooch in the stands?
Yes. Let's see.
Why'd you
who's-
got a notepad?
Let's
for a
call him
game
up.
show?
guys,
Yes.
you will remember this name.
That's
Hood
funny.
News Media is going to join us.
I've
as
seen
well.
I've
I
seen
know
that guy
Hood
on
News
Twitter.
Media.
Yeah.
And he is all
He's-
over on Twitter.
He is unabashedly Xbox positive. I can say that.
I think I'm going to need that a little bit, man. I don't know. Some
Hey
people
man,
are
yeah,
feeling
Xbox
where-
will be
what-
fine. They
what I'm
just need
going
some
right
games.
now, man.
Yes,
I hear you, dude. I hear you.
And then last but certainly not least, the Crap Gamer. Crap, where can people find you this weekend?
Crap Gamer review. Oh, happy Easter and all the Good Friday and all that kind of stuff to everybody.
Yes.
Hopefully you guys have spent time with your families. I am out to go meet up with my lady and the fam, and we're gonna have some fun this weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. Make sure you guys do the same. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. Keep it classy. Let's go.
Absolutely, crap. And let me just do a quick plug, guys. I want to say thank you so much for being here. Guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I totally appreciate it. And then I'm going to be twitching. It's weird to say tweeting and twitching in the same sentence.
You're not mixering?
No, I'm twitching. I set it up on Twitch. I can't do two. I can't do two setups. It's too much.
Who the hell uses Mixer anyway?
I'm not sure, but I got news for twitch.tv/the Mooch78. Same as here. Same. I made it the same as YouTube. The Mooch78. Please do follow me. We are going to be doing Sekiro Saturday, Sekiro Sunday. And then, guys, listen, right up until we get to Days Gone, and I'm going to be playing Days Gone nightly and play that game pretty much in its entirety. So if you guys really want to check out the game and check out some commentary, we have some great conversation, guys. It's a little bit, there's some screaming, but it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more.
Are you gonna stream some Days Gone too? Because I'm gonna review that game, and
I will be streaming the entire game. Crap, yeah.
I'm hoping that game's gonna. It looks so good, man. I'm really looking forward to it.
Scott's already got the number for the review. He's just waiting for the game to come.
I am, man. Perfect 10. Perfect 10. And then I'm gonna do a Capital Foundry Days Gone, which is Sony's latest release exclusive, versus the newest released exclusive for Xbox, and we'll see how those pair up in quality, graphics, gameplay, story, all that. And those are the criteria that I'm going to be using to run that Capital Foundry. So anybody want to take a guess at how that turns out?
Interesting strategy, Cotton. Interesting strategy. Yes, I like that.
I'm guessing it's going to fare more in PlayStation's favor.
You know what? It just might, Goldblum. It just might.
Know.
We'll have to see how that goes, man. We'll have to see how that goes. Hey, Failed Powermancer late. He says, "Happy Easter. Enjoy your weekend." Thank you very much, my friend. And to anybody else, if I haven't unblocked you on Twitter or whatever, just let me know. Come up with a different name and say, "Hey, can you unblock my original name?" I've been unblocking a lot of people, but there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Same thing with on YouTube, man. I've unblocked so many people. So many great people just want to talk gaming. I love it. So just have a great weekend, guys. Chill.
And I agree. Thank you, Failed Powermancer. I can't say thank you enough. He says, "Happy Easter and enjoy your weekend, guys." Failed's been here for a very long time. He's a big-time Sony fan, but he loves games, and he's always been very, very great in the chat. Thank you so much, guys. I want to say, check me out. We'll see what's going on. It's the Mooch78 again on Twitch. We'll see you. Have a great Easter, a great holiday weekend. Peace out, everybody. Good night.
Later.